That again. We do a key change. We're sure, for sure before a bit of time. No question. This can have a little impromptu shofar blowing for whoever didn't hear it. The hostages. Amen. Well, make sure that 1 second. Make sure she comes in. Everyone come in and take seats. There's so many seats. There's stools and so on. Hi. Welcome everybody. Come and come sit down. Bible. Oh, you want to come sit down? Come all the way out. Machen Platz für jeden. Judy, you listening? Here we go. Wow. That was really very good. You know what, Pablo, maybe come on. Judy, do you want to sit on this seat with the pillows? Do you want to sit on this seat with the pillows? Yeah, come around, come on this side. Come on.
There?
Step over the step. I can unplug it.
Is this recording?
This is, yes, it went on. Yes, the shofar went on. Got recorded. So, okay.
Oh, this is from the Master's event. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was, we were dancing and painting. It's
Good to see you. Yes. I forgot your name. Sierra. Let's do maybe something a little more afraid of. You know, Yiddish Shrai Shabbos? Just over here. Oh, yeah, the band is perfect. Get it out. Yeah, but the time la la.
At the moment, not. Holy good Shabbat, 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 good Shabbat. My good Shabbat, good Shabbat, good Shabbat. I am his, my shir. If you want to do it, you're comfortable. I say I'm doing my Shabbat. I mean, my
Marshir Shabbos Bus.
There are so many men. My world is waiting.
To sing a song of Shalom. The world is waiting to sing a song of Shabbos.
So many sing the song of Shabbos.
Baba.
Gewalt. And tell Judy to come in. Oh, good. Okay, Bezos Hashem Yisbarach. Bezos Hashem Yisbarach. Yes. Amen. Oh, so first of all, everyone should make brachos. First of all, Rav Shalom's name is Shalom ben Yosef Yekusiel Zisha. Have in mind, Ilui Nishmas. We can all. Is this Mizah? Anyone know? What is this? The hippie boots. It looks like a Mizah. Oh, Shalom ben Reb Yosef Yekusiel Zusha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei mezainos.
Amen.
We would want everybody for sure to be making brachas, eat something. There's the Yerushalyim stance. That's the centerpiece. Here we go. Who wants the rosé? Who wants the color?
Shalom ben Yosef.
Where is the color? Yeah. So this is a Amen. Okay, we'll just put them. Yes. Yes, you got it. Here. Change. Nice topic today.
Amen.
Okay. So hard to believe 7 years. Hard to believe 7 years. Hard to believe 7 years. Shabbos. Shabbos. Going into the 8th year. So we it's coming around. Can you make it? Make a path. Yeah, come. Amen. What?
Great, they're like gorgeous.
100%. Yeah, they are. 100%. Okay. Welcome, Judy. Oops. Oops. Oh. So many people to see you. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, click that. On the computer. Everyone come in, there's plenty of space for seating. Okay, sorry we had a little spill over here. Hi. Okay.
It feels a little like look at her space.
I'm not gonna like break it out.
Sometimes we sit down.
Keep it going with the nigga.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Is there a stool there? What? There's a stool. But the chairs are extra. It's like, we can have a four person on this side.
Give me this chair. I'm gonna take this out.
Great, perfect. What the Moimdim Tzfufim Ishtachavim Rebachim happening here. The miracle, the Olam Lo Olam Adam Sali HaMakom Yerushalyim, and it's for sure true. The Brodt living room and dining room, there's always room for everybody. We're just figuring out how it's manifesting tonight.
The other apartment.
Yeah.
They had so many people.
They had double the number of people and half the space.
But they ended up outside.
Outside. If you're even in Yerushalayim, when you're outside, you're inside. As long as you're in Yerushalayim, you're inside. Right? Amazing, right? Heaven, right? Heaven.
There's a
It's a
couple
really
here.
amazing thing.
But, no.
Keep coming back. Keep coming back. Can we get Levi? What was his name? Levi Kranz? Right. So.
Lady has helped many singles find their partners.
Ooh, really? You have a database? 49? That's a crazy number of singles.
He started a bit, want to tell me?
We're gonna talk after. We gotta get into the Yahrtzeit now, but we're gonna talk. It's really, really important. Really, really important. So,
Basically, the bringer of people together.
um, so as a beginning of the beginning, as a beginning of the beginning of the beginning. Oh, nice. Never go up. You never have to go up. Even when you're coloring. Mississippi, Brandon Kala. Yerushalyim. That's it. Amazing. That's all I'm We'll sing again when he comes in. So just as a beginning of the beginning, I just want to say one thing that's coming into my heart at this moment is Bruchim Habayim, Bruchot Habaot. Everyone's just so happy to see each other. It's impossible. It's like we should. One thing that's coming into my heart to say at this moment before I begin is that we've inherited from Reb Shalom, we've inherited from him through all of the people, through Reb Shlomo and all the people that he knew, and that he paid forward. We've inherited space-making abilities.
Mm-hmm.
This is so precious, this kind of a space. Real, accepting, musical, colorful, spiritual, happy, simple, comfortable, loving. We've inherited this space-making abilities. Rav Shalom injected us. We've got infected, right? And we have a obligation, to pay that forward to the people in our lives and to really open up this kind of space more. And I'm just challenging each of us to think, how can I do that, really, within time and space? How can I make the time and the space in my life to widen the petach a little more? Harchivi makomo halech, to widen the petach a little more. How can I use this inheritance that we've all gotten? So that's it's serious, right?
Yes.
Yes.
There's more space over
Yeah, and there's more space. Maybe we should go back and pull the whole table. In any case, the one is, yeah.
But there really is more space. Like
Yeah.
if we move that entire, and there's a seat right here.
There's a seat here.
Show us your space.
Michael. So,
Not to say what we say.
Namish.
Yeah. You gonna try to get in here? I'm gonna get in there. I want to learn from him. Oh, I never got around to it.
Look who's here. Elion. Wow. Wow, Brooklyn, my boy. Brooklyn, my boy. First of all, I just want to acknowledge everyone being here, everyone. Your hearts with your souls, virtually, physically. Thank you. I can't help saying with Reb Shlomo, I don't know how much time you have. If you want to share something right now or later? Later? Okay, say that. Okay, you came to listen. Unbelievable. Chaim, brother. Shlomo Katz.
Wow.
Yeah. Everybody in the room wants to hear from you, so whenever you're ready. Mazel tov, Tati. There's the new baby. Mazel tov. Incredible. All right, so what we're going to do is there are two regular shiurim on Thursday nights from Emuna and myself.
There's no regular shit.
I'm saying regular is a regular for us. Targilena b'sar sechel, you know. But my shiur is about Purim, and Emuna's is Torah's from Shlomo. So we're each going to
Shofar.
on a shofar. About shofar. So I'm going to speak for a few minutes, and then Emuna, and then we're going to open it up for Chevra to share nigunim, stories, memories, etc. So I want to begin with a poem from the back of this Heilige Sefer from Shalom. This is a poem that is titled "The Long Train of Insanity." Sound familiar?
An autobiography.
The long train of insanity. Where is the next stop? Your mochin means like consciousness. You go into spiritual autism. This locomotive can really take you for a ride. All aboard. Hold on. To what? To what? To a blank mind, to a closed heart. To what? To lost dreams and visions. To truth. Where is it? Where is the beautiful truth? Why can't I find it in my heart? The long train of insanity. He hid so well, but now he is lost. How alone can you be? Do you not trust anyone? Do you no longer have any trust in yourself? What's driving you? All aboard. Hold on. To what? The long train of insanity. Last stop, get off, walk across the platform to the next train. Wait, which one am I supposed to get onto?
Who wrote that?
That's Shalom Brodt, Alav Shalom's poem. Okay. Translate? No. This is Mamish, his, he wrote it in English. Yeah. I believe so, correct? Yeah, he wrote it in English. Chaim Rav Shalom, you knew the long train. We're on it. Boy, were we on it. Oh my gosh. Oh boy, are we on it. Rav Shalom ben Yosef Yekusil Zusha. I want to read to you from the Seforno. This is my very, very, very condensed Purim shir for tonight that's related. You know, the long train of insanity is connected to Purim too. The last verse of Tehillim is Kol HaNeshama Tehalel Ya Hallelujah. Says the Seforno 400 years ago in Italy. Al Shehifli La'asot Bagalut. What is the Kol HaNeshama Tehalel Ya? All souls will praise Hashem. What are they going to praise Hashem about? About the wonders that Hashem did in exile. Shelo haya Hashem shalem, lahatzilam migezerat ha'umot. That God's name was not complete in order to save us. We're missing that saving grace from Hashem. His presence, His name is incomplete. Lama'an yizku liyamot hamashiach ulechayei holam haba. And this was so in order for us to merit the days of Mashiach, Meher Yameinu, and Chayei Holam Haba. Lachen, and therefore, so he kind of parses the sentence. Kol HaNeshama Tehalel Ya is a description that in the future it's Tehalel, we will all sing about the wonders of exile, that Hashem allowed His name to be smaller and incomplete, so that we could go through all the, let's say, long train of insanity, and in order that we will merit the days of Mashiach and Olam Haba. Lachen atem tzadikei v'chachmei dorot hagalut. Therefore, you, the righteous and the wise of those generations, of those long train of insanity generations of the galut, of the exile, hallelujah. Say, praise Hashem for everyone along the way, while you're still in Galus. Lama'an tihiyu matzdike harabim, in order that you'll be able to give righteousness and merit to the multitudes. L'ratzon lachem lifnei Hashem, to bring out that wantedness and that loving relationship with Hashem. To me, and I think to many of us, Reb Shalom, and what we see in that poem, he never sugar-coated, the long train of insanity. You knew that he really got it all the way, and you knew that he was loving you and with you for the ride. And he could look at you with that look like, I'm also on this passenger seat, and there could be an ability to praise Hashem, to sing a nigun, even so, when there's an incompleteness that is mamish incomplete, and it's not all the way, but with the partial name of Hashem, also does something. The partial name, right? Kol HaNeshama Tehalel Ya, that's just the half of Hashem's name that is incomplete. And one day we're going to, when Mashiach comes and say, wow, we're going to be able to look back on this long train and really sing about it. Right now we need the hallelujah that the Sforno is saying that is for all of the teachers and tzaddikim, rebbes of the generations to remind us while we're in it, and they can only really remind us while we're in it when they acknowledge that we're in it. And that's, to me, one of the great, great beauties and wonderful things that I got from Shalom, and that I, constantly sort of challenging myself on. Am I really there? Am I sugarcoating? Am I getting too dark? And the train, what do you say?
It's a long train.
It's a long train. And am I getting too dark also? Am I getting too much into the insanity of it that I can't sing the song anymore? It's mamish. Wow, how do you hold that balance? Mamish, profound. So I want to just, yeah, it's recording. Yeah. I want to just, I know Rav Shalom would have liked it if I would learn a little bit Gemara. And I just want to do two little pieces from the Gemara. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us in such a way that we do things without consciousness. Then there's lots of Gemaras in Masechet Shabbos about mitasek, shogeg, things that we do. You were doing one thing and you ended up doing another thing. You thought it was this, it turns out to be that. What am I even doing? Do I even know? I stick my hand out. What do I even know? What's out there? Do I know what I'm doing? Or Hashem made us in a way that our actions are by nature there's a certain percentage of our actions that are imprecise and do things that we didn't intend to do before. And so I just want to mention this machlokas Abaye and Rava, the Ilui Nishmas of Shalom. Itmar, this is Daf Ayin Bet of Shabbos. Amud Aleph and Bet. Niskaven lahakbiyas hatalush. There were plants on the table. Plants on the table, Chaim. And or let's say they were actually, one of them is attached to the ground, and one of them is a potted plant. Maybe they're right on the garden, right? When there's a potted plant, and the potted plant doesn't have a hole on the bottom. Atzit she'eino naku. And I want to pick up the potted plant, which is completely okay on Shabbos, to pick up a potted plant that doesn't have a hole in the bottom. And by mistake, I picked up a plant that was attached to the ground and pulled it on Shabbos, right? And I cut the one that was attached. Pater. So because I didn't mean to, I don't have to bring a sin offering, a chatas, because it was just mamish a mistake. Lachtoch et talush. If I wanted to pick a leaf, you have a salad, nothing wrong to pick the leaves apart in the salad on Shabbos. They're not attached to the ground. But I picked off by mistake a lettuce that was attached to the ground. Right, I'm having a picnic or something near where the lettuce is growing. Whatever the exact situation is, and I pull a leaf off instead of the lettuce in my salad. I pulled the leaf off of a lettuce that was growing there. Chayav. Rava Amar Pater, Abaye Amar Chayav. Rava says this is where the machlokas is. Rava says you're even there. You didn't know what you were doing. You thought you were taking the leaf from the lettuce that was detached. You don't have to bring a sacrifice for that. You don't have to bring a chatas for that. And Rabbi says chayiv. Rav Amar Pater dehalonis kaven lechasicha deisura. I meant to do the act of cutting, but I didn't mean to do an act of cutting that's forbidden. Abaye Amar chayiv dehakamechaven lechasicha be'alma. Abaye says you're chayiv. You have to bring a korban because you meant to do an act of cutting. Whereas in the first case where you meant to do an act of lifting a pot, which was not a cutting at all, and by mistake you cut, there Abaye agrees. You're pater from the korban, you don't have to bring the korban, but here you do, because you meant to do cutting, and you did the wrong cutting, okay? I just wanted to mention Abaye and Rava, and just mention how we do things that are, yeah?
What about the potted plant with the hole in the bottom?
I'm not going to mention that for now. Let's do better. Let's do that. Gemara Kop. Okay.
Wait a minute. Sin.
Yes. That's right. The chatas is an interesting thing. It's specifically a sin offering in the Beis Hamikdash is specifically for when I do things unconsciously. It's chayiv, but it's a chesed, absolutely, yeah. And it's daf ayin bet, which is gematria chesed. Okay, one more little thing in the Gemara and Megillah. This part I just mentioned that Gemara and Shabbos just to talk about how part of the long train of insanity is we don't even know what we're doing. You know, some percentage of the time we don't realize what we're doing. And there's all Gemaras and perspectives on degrees of knowing and not knowing, and what did you mean to do with it? Now I just want to mention a little bit for a second the world of money and the world of how Rav Shalom helped us out of that. The world of money is a world of cause and effect, a world of you do this, you get that, you know. It's a world of rules. And Haman in the Megillah, right? He bought the right to destroy Sonehem Shel Yisrael. And he paid money, hakesef. There's a far out Tosfot and Daf Yud Gimel Amud Bet in Megillah. There's a Hasidic Tosfos, you might say. And it says the entire of the Tosfos is just telling us a gematria. That's what it says. Gematria hakesef ole ha'etz. Ramaz lo sheyitaleh alav. The word hakesef is exactly the numerical value of ha'etz, the tree that Haman was hung upon. And it was a hint to him that you're ending up in the tree, right? I don't know if he got the hint. I mean, eventually he got the hint, but I don't know if he knew Hebrew or numerical values. But there's the world of hakesef, and there's the world of ha'etz. And I think when we walk into this home, right, walking from the shuk, which is the world of kesef, which is Baruch Hashem, there needs to be masau matan, and it's beautiful, and everybody's hawking, you know, avatiach, you know, and everything. But it's the world of hakesef. Then you come in, you come home, and you're in the eitz chaim. For Haman, the eitz is bad news. Mizat Hashem, I never felt this way to such an extent in my life, but Mizat Hashem, our enemies should find that eitz and be finished already, the Karov Na'od. And we should see, and the world should see, the eitz chaim hila machazikim ba, the eitz mamish, ha-eitz, the tree. All getting back to that garden and that real togetherness. We need it so badly. It's you know, chaim. Oh, so let's do, you know, Shlomo has an eitz chaim he. Let's do it for a second, and then we'll pass it over to.
I just thought you said insanity could
yes.
be interpreted minute insanity.
Ooh.
Insanity. Oh, Letterberg. Dov Letterberg just added an amazing insight. Shlomo would have loved that. He was always darshaning English words. Insanity means the depth going inside the sanity. Insanity.
The way that the pasuk uses, it becomes insane.
Yeah.
The word nevuah. It doesn't say shakar.
Now that's, you know this Eitz Chaim major, I think. V'machazikim b'har v'sovavavim chevavavavah me'yuvavavosha Eitz Chaim v'machazikim b'har v'sovavavim chevavavavah me'yuvavavosha I am Mitzrayim, Lama Chazikim Ba, Vesoim Beha, Yerushalayim, Mitzrayim, Lama Chazikim Ba, Vesoim Beha, Yerushalayim, Mitzrayim, Lama Chazikim Ba, I'm so I'm it's Havayim Passing it over to Emuna. There are a few more chairs over here that we can put, maybe pass them back over to the people in the back. What's that? Maybe all the stools are made.
Should I start anyway? Okay. Okay, so first of all, Judy, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So much.
Wow. So I just have to, Judy said, and talk a little bit about Reb Shalom first. I want to just tell you that Shlomo, for years and years went all over the world trying to find rich people and people here, people there to make a yeshiva, his yeshiva, Torah, Reb Shlomo Torah, coming out from the middle of Yerushalyim. And when it happened, you started this little yeshiva, and you, mamish, like, this was Shlomo's dream.
That came down one day.
It came down, and Reb Shalom was our best friend. He was our best friend. And there were moments when we were together and different members of our family were together. We thought we could mamish bring Mashiach just from the friendship, just from that friendship. And shofar comes from the word shufra, is beautiful. Wow, Reb Shalom, mamish, like all of his chassidim were so beautiful. And not only that, he helped get them all together. I don't know how many weddings you guys made. I don't know how many. I don't know, like can't count children, can't even count the weddings. I just, that everyone, mamish, stays married. It said he was amazing, amazing. So many young people came through here, and you're still taking care of them. And you know what? On your card, not just getting people married, but then you were the doula, the midwife for most of the babies coming down. For most of the babies
And then
coming
he
down.
designed everyone's houses.
Right. Full service.
Everything.
And
It's a good deal.
and our children grew up together. When Shlomo left the world, that Sharia and Netzach got up on the stage wearing Shlomo vests, little vests, and they played music. What was it in Shlomo first, or wherever it was, and just nachas. And that's what life is all about. It's not that everything is flowing all the time, but those moments. We have to remember those moments. And so yesterday I had missed shofar also, and we went to the kotel, and I was holding a little shofar, and everybody that I passed, I said, please, can you blow it? But I didn't find any shofar blower. And then got dark, but that's how I knew that you could still do it when it's dark, because I was at the kotel, and then the middle of Shmona Esrei, someone was blowing it. So Neely, no matter who asks you when, if it's already dark and early in the morning, wherever it is, you just keep blowing that shofar. And I learned from Reb Shalom that even when he was teaching, if someone called, he gave them covered, and he answered the phone and said, I'll talk to you in a little while. So I just have to prepare everybody. When no one even heard, but I had a little nechet. He's like a little Rebbe, Dov Bear. He calls me every night to say goodnight to Savta. So he called. But my daughter is due, but not yet, maybe another week. She always gives birth in the 37th week. She almost didn't let me go to America because that's when I was in America. But this little baby didn't come down yet, but she might call, you never know. I told her not to call tonight. I told her that I was teaching, and I gave her the Zoom. I don't know if she's listening or not, but okay. I gave her the Zoom. It says that when we hear the shofar, we know that we mamish could do tshuva. We hear it. We hear that we could do tshuva. And so one time, I don't know where I was learning it, where I heard it, but someone said, Shlomo was like a shofar. And I thought, and I'm sure Reb Shlomo was also a shofar. Because whoever they saw, they mamish gave them the confidence, they mamish gave them so much love that we can all do it together. We can all do it together and fix the world. So right now it says also that doubt, sekot, and amalek is the same gematria. When we hear the shofar, we know that mamish we can get rid of all the evil in the world, and we have to do it. We're mamish doing it. We're doing it. We have to do it. So this is for all the chayalim and for all the people that need a refuah shlema, for all the hostages to get out as quick as possible. We just need nisim. We need so many nisim. We need We mamish need a lot of, but I'm sure there are nisim every single day. Every single day there's miracles every single day. And just like labor pains, there's so much pain getting that baby out. But once the baby's out, whoa. So we're all waiting for the skula that's coming. We're all waiting for the skula. You thought it was crowded in here. Reb Shalom and Judy, I passed the house where you used to live. That's the way I walked from Mishkanot to here. I passed that. It was a tiny little house, but you still made simchas, you made sheva brachas for our children, you made every Shabbos. Mamish, like there was room for everybody. There was always room for everybody. And wow, that's the Beis HaMikdash. And the Beis HaMikdash, but not only physical room, the people have to give give each other space to be who they are. And Reb Shalom Mamish, he welcomed everybody. He welcomed everybody. Inside, outside, didn't matter who. He Mamish welcomed everybody. Both of you. And okay, so just another thing about the shofar, it's a Kedas Yitzchak. It's because they blew they took the shofar. And so listen, I just wanted to tell you something about Simchat. I'm blessing all of us. It says Rikudim, Mamtikin, Dinim. Rabbi Nachman says when we're dancing, we should sweeten all the judgments. And that's another thing about shofar. It's going from Gvura to Rachamim. And so this Simcha, so this is a Shlomo Torah, that you have to have Simcha, because if you don't have Simcha, you won't hear God's voice. Because if you don't hear God's voice, oy vavoy, because God told Avram to sacrifice his son. That's the craziest thing in the whole world. How can he cross? He's been davening for his son. He finally gets Yitzchak. And then all of a sudden God says to sacrifice him with. And he mamish wakes up in the morning and he goes B'simcha. If he wasn't B'simcha, he would not have heard God's voice saying, don't kill Yitzchak, don't kill him. So I'm blessing all of us, even in the road, the insanity, this whole train, all the insanity that's around us, wherever, that we mamish still have to bring down the simcha so we can hear the Ruach HaKodesh and the Nevuah, and we mamish have to bring it down. And it says tshuva also brings down refuah. We should all be, it says also that the shofar has to do with Har Sinai. We all get the Torah together. We hear the shofar. We hear all the we see the kolot and hear the lightning. It's crazy. But we are all together. We're all together. So I'm just thanking Reb Shalom, who's now it's the 7th year, that we're still all coming together and sharing and connecting. People from all over the world. And people from all over the country come here to learn by you, Judy. And it's so special. And so I just want to tell you also that my Hudi, whose name is Yehuda Rachamim, because he was born the last day of Av, but it's for Rosh Chodesh Elul. And he walked with Reb Shalom to Cheder. I asked him to sing it. I hope it's right here. I asked Hudi to sing the songs. Let's see if it goes. Oh, maybe that's not it. Okay, it's not it. He was talking about, he wanted to talk to you, but I don't know where the song is. Let's see. Maybe this is it. I'm not sure. This might be the song. Ich gehe in Cheder zu lernen Torah, sie will an Moshe. Ich gehe in Cheder zu lernen Torah, sie will an Moshe. Play it again. Yingale, wo gehst du? Yingale, wo gehst du? Ich gehe Cheder zu lernen Torah, sie will an Moshe. Ich gehe Cheder zu lernen Torah, sie will an Moshe. Happy birthday. Wow, he's 41. And he was a little boy walking with Reb Shalom. And wow. This home should always be blessed. And all your children, wow, you have grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Everyone should be healthy, the simcha. We mama should be going to the Beis HaMikdash together. And wow. I don't know how you want to do it. I can keep going because like when someone pushes the button, but I know that you want to have other people speak, or if you want me to, whatever, yeah.
I just thank you, Amuna.
Thank you, Amuna.
That later walking to Cheder was the sweetest. Was Hudi and Sharia and Netzach. Netzach and Sharia were starting Cheder. And Nachi was in the front pouch of Shalom. And that's how they went down from Makor Baruch to Cheder, singing this niggin.
Also, that's how the Baal Shem Tov started off. He would taught Cheder and he would walk the kids to Cheder.
Yeah. Wow, I'm so glad everybody's here.
Yeah.
Just look at each of you is a representative of another, like, I don't know, 1,000 people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people, Baruch Hashem, online also. But I just, each of you is such a major part of my life, really. You have no idea how much I value and treasure each of you. And I know that there are people who Shalom used to have in his, what grade were you in, Uri?
8th grade.
Yeah. And were you in Shalom's class? No? Well, everybody had to be in Shalom's class. Whoever, from what, age 14?
Yeah.
From the age of 14, Shalom was his teacher. And Leila, wow, you went to Poland with him, right? And all kinds, everybody has a niche in our life, and it makes us complete. Thank you. Hamish. We went to the kever this afternoon, and it was so surreal. It's that long train. It really is so surreal because he's so much alive, and he's really making us work hard, and is helping to open doors that are that are wanting to be opened. So I'm hoping and yearning and begging Hashem to keep opening doors.
Amen.
For all of us, mamish. And Nathan came to our house Erev Pesach, how many years ago? In Montreal, in a t-shirt. And then there's Zev, who didn't want to come to our house. I had to cajole him for at least 6 weeks. I kept telling him that he should come to our house. And then finally he did, but he still wanted to go through the cemetery in order to get to our house instead of staying put. Yeah, so I have little vignettes of everyone, and thank you so much. What would our life be without you?
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Yes.
Say your name. What's your name?
Razel Yehudi Tzukot Shalem. Yehudi Razel, I was mixed up. Yehudi Razel Tzukot Shalem. Yehudi Razel Tzukot Shalem.
But Yitte, Hamish. Yes, thank you, my parents. But I have trouble saying that my mother and my father had forsaken me. You know, like I've been saying Tehillim 27 for months, like the whole year already, because I think that it just is an encompassing mizmor. And I got stuck on that part where it says that my mother and father had forsaken me. But my parents, I know that they were there always. more than I wanted. Promise. No, every life, my mother, every life, every child who lived through the Shoah and after, she felt like each child was her own child. Every time I went to a birth and I called her and said Mazel Tov, and she always said that I should tell the new parents that she hopes that they don't mind, but she feels like their child is her child also. Yeah.
Time. So much love, so much love. So it's amazing. There's so many people who came, and I know that I hope that you have things to share. And that's really what the whole rest of the evening is for. We're here, we'll have a Nate's minion for Shachris, for the sunrise. Just kidding. but maybe not. Maybe we'll do. But any case, really, really the floor is open, you know. And if anybody wants to just jump in,
Okay.
people online. If you're
Rivka
online, you
wants to
can
say something.
Rivka, but also people online, you can do. There's a hand raising thing, and then I'll see you raise your hand. You can do that also. Okay, go ahead, Rivka.
So,
I can hear.
I think that we could turn these microphones on so people everywhere could.
They'll
Hear
help
you.
us to hear them, but I don't know if you can pass the computer around because the computer is charged. So you can pass this. Just take it carefully and don't get it wet. Okay.
Yeah, just so pass the computer around.
לעילוי נשמת שלום בן
Yosef,
יקותיאל זושה. About 25 years ago, there was a Nachis bar mitzvah. Was that something like this? Yeah. And Judy called me that her late parents are coming from Florida. Would I be willing to sit with them and entertain them because I speak Hungarian? I said, sure, no problem. And we sat at the table and we were talking and they say, how do you know Hungarian? So from Hungary, and what was your maiden name? And I said, Friedman. And they asked, did you have any relation to Rabbi Friedman? I said, yes, he was my late father. And then they told me a story that I never knew about my parents. And 70 years later, after they perished and everything, in Jerusalem, B'zchut Yeshiva and Shalom, the story came up. My late Abba was the only shoichet in Hungary after the war. And he lived on the train. They told me, I didn't even know that. I was a little girl, I didn't remember that well. And on Sunday, my late mother used to pack him up with a warm coat, with some bags and crate, and put him on the train. There was one train in Budapest that went throughout all of Hungary, stopped in every little villages and townships, and by Thursday came back to the Budapest. And Abba was on the train stopped, little remnant Jews left after the Shoah, all broken, came to the train station. He shechted fast the chicken. They gave him some produce, some eggs, some cheese, sometimes a chicken. And that's how he went through all of Hungary. Thursday night came back to Budapest, and Friday morning, the old Hungarian remnant Jews came to us, and my late Ima gave out the whatever Abba brought back from the villages, from the people. And Hoover, one of those people who came and told me that my late parents fed them for I don't know how many years, Judy's parents. And we met here after 70 years in Yerushalyim. In their yeshiva, they are feeding me spiritually and giving me and how many other things. And wow, the Kadosh Baruch Hu. One of the miracles, yeah. L'chaim. L'chaim.
Story. No idea what's going on.
Who's next? Next. Who has the complaint?
Go ahead and take the one on the computer.
Maybe somebody online.
Jamie, come on, keep it.
There's no, I don't see, oh, maybe still ask Shlomo if he wants to. Ask Shlomo.
Shlomo, Katz, do you want to say something?
What?
All right, he
Yes.
says yes.
Okay, great. Plug in. 1 second, I want to plug in.
Give
the
us a minute, we
speaker
have
so
to
we'll
like
hear
set it
you.
up.
Yeah, just so that we'll be able to hear you. Actually, I'll go this way so we'll have everything to see.
Yeah.
I will try.
When he starts to speak, I think it pops up
Does it?
sometimes.
Okay. Let's see if it works.
Okay, we have to,
Yeah, according to him, you figure out what you want to see. Then you can choose.
no, here.
Speaker, no.
He's muted, so you have to unmute him.
Can you hear
Ah,
him?
yeah,
Yeah.
1 second, we just want to make the screen larger.
So just go to the view and put speaker for the main thing. See, instead of gallery. No.
When he starts talking, it'll come up.
No, it's up, I just want to move the.
Boombox. There are speakers. We should hear.
Make it You guys know that this is Shlomo, new baby.
Yes.
They said that.
Okay, I think it's good. We don't hear him speaking right now, but I think.
All right, can you hear us, everyone? Okay, so l'chaim, everybody. And Bina and I are sending all of our love, all of Mishpachat Katz. And I got so emotional before when Emuna was saying how many people walked through these doors and became family, because Bina and I literally met at that front door right there. Your house. And now
All the singles hang out the front door
Segula.
and Baruch Hashem, and Baruch Hashem, we're with our 6th child now, and it's Shalom was there from the second we saw each other, and he made sure it happened too. But that's for another story. But there's many stories like that. But I just want to say that Judy, you're our hero, Judy. You're our hero beyond words, Judy. We love you infinitely. There's no words. Whatever we'll say won't come close. And Leibish, you're the Rebbe of all Rebbes. You really are. You're out of this world. I remember, I still feel like I'm holding your hand at the funeral, and like some buzz went into you that said, you're going to do your way, but you have to continue. That it's going to be your way. And that's the highest in the world. And Emuna, every time I hear you, I feel like I could do tshuva. That's every single time I've heard since I'm a kid, I've heard you, that's what I feel. And I saw Tzipi sitting next to Judy and L'chaim, 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 L'chaim. So there's Ein Sof feelings. I just want to share probably two very short thoughts, and I'm sorry that we're not there in person, but one, there's two short thoughts is that I always felt like I wanted to feel shaykh to something. And I think many of us felt this, that we always felt like we wanted to feel part of something. But the misgarot, the different, how do you say misgarot? The different frames that we were raised in or grew up in, it wasn't always exactly what we wanted. But we always wanted to feel a sense of feeling shaykh. And I personally always wanted to feel like I was going to get tested on the place that I wanted to feel shaykh to, what they call in Yiddish a faher, like at a yeshiva. And I never really had a proper faher, but I only had one faher in my life. And it was the second week of Chodesh Elul on the bench. I don't know if it's still there. The bench still there.
Yeah.
Shalom tested me on the mimer of the Alter Rebbe, Ani L'doidi V'doidi Li. And he didn't make me, it wasn't like he was trying to make me feel good. He really fahered, he tested me. We were engaged. I was by my wife's family for Shabbos in Matisyahu, and I was up all Shabbos studying, because Shalom said he was going to faher me on Sunday morning. And he did. And you know how the difference between Reb Shalom's not smiling face and smiling face was the difference between what looked like the deepest depths of hell and Mashiach. You know? Like when he wasn't smiling, it was very heavy. And when he smiled,
The long train of insanity.
the long train to insanity. And whenever I want to get some chizuk of feeling shaykh in my life, I always park myself back at that bench during that faher. Always. I just go back to that bench. And Shalom's sitting there, and it's about Torah, and it's about love and brotherhood, and right there. But Shalom had the ability to also make you feel so close, and sometimes it came out in ways, at least with me, that could be perceived as like so bizarre and weird, but it was actually the closest thing in the world. One time late at night, probably a Thursday night, Shalom, we were schmoozing for hours, and he turned to me and he said, you know, Shlomo, the real smart ones, they never really sit and talk with me. So I was like, I sat with that sentence. I was like, and he said it so straight. I'll never forget. He said it to me so straight, but I love that because he was basically saying to me, don't ever fall into that trap. Don't ever fall into that trap. Yes, I would. He would like to be with. He would like that also the smart ones, the chulei, should come and schmooze too. But Shalom was all about making you feel shaykh and making you feel that maybe you're not the smartest, but you're the most beloved in the world. You're the most beloved. Every person in this room felt that from him. Every single person in this room felt that from him. So I give us a bracha to continue that legacy of making every person feel shaykh, feel beloved. And I cannot believe, it's not that I can't believe it's 7 years. I cannot believe that he's not here. Still like, lo mistader li. But a lot of things, Eliyahu Novi is going to have to come and give a teretz on this one as well. When Mashiach comes, may it be now, Be'ezer Hashem, l'chaim. We love all of you and mazel tov.
Thank you, Shlomo. Unbelievable. Thank you for all the chidduk and everything you do for Am Yisrael. We love you too tremendously. I love you. Mamish, toda achi. I miss you. It's hard for me to see you virtually. I need a hug. Anyway, we'll figure that out. That's Shem soon. Okay. I want to really open the floor, Mamish. Chebra online can raise your hand. I think I'm supposed to see it if you raise your hand. Or Shalom. Yeah. Good evening. Good evening. That's it? Okay. Okay.
No, sure.
This is say something.
Really want to say something?
Yeah. Unplug it.
Okay, he wants to speak from there, so we'll just.
No, but to the closer.
No.
They can hear me, believe me. I speak.
Yeah.
I got my background. Good. Okay, so good. Sure, why not? Cameraman, camerawoman. I think it's a little bit like.
Yeah.
You're gonna see like my
Hold
my
on,
stomach.
hold on.
Okay, I'll sit down.
You don't.
So really, I'm gonna say is
Put it on.
okay.
Hold on.
Pin the tail on the donkey, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, nice.
you're gonna.
Shem
you go.
Shem Bachamor.
Very good.
So Rev Shlomo Shalom was like a brother to me. He used to call me my brother, Shalom. And very few people in this world admit we have the same DNA. Okay, so I was thinking about it today, but we really were brothers, mamish brothers. And Yaakov had 12 sons. So I think all of us, and he had a daughter that was born a twin to each of the sons, so they can marry between each other. Baruch Hashem. So I really feel I've got 12 brothers in the world. And Michael Golem was one of them. David Hertzberg was another one. Shalom and a few others I won't mention, but some of them might be here, some might not be here. And then when we went down to Mitzrayim, there were 70 souls, 66 went down. There were 4 there already. So I feel that every person has 70 people in their family, except Amuna, she's got a lot more than that. So Baruch Hashem, I know I have a son-in-law over here. I had a daughter-in-law over there. She went someplace. But when you think about going down to Mitzrayim, when you go down to Mitzrayim, it's a narrowing of things. That we're calling from a certain place of constrictedness that seems to them in the world. So that's what Shalom and Judy were all about, and they still are, that they brought people together and they really feel it's a village. And so, and it's a big thing today, it takes a village. I keep repeating it. Sometimes my grandchildren will repeat it, but that's what it is. You really made something that when people come down to the Mitzrayim, there's this really narrowness in this world. They have a place they can be. There's a place where it's the and you answer me in wideness. So Baruch Hashem, this place, it might be small, but it's really, really big. And there's a Gemara in Sanhedrin I was learning yesterday in Zion, Aleph, that a man was walking down the street and he said, my wife and I were really in love and we shared a bed that was about that wide. And when we weren't in love, we had a bed that was 60 cubits wide or so. So as small as this place is, I really feel the love here, and it's something that you and Shalom brought into the world. And Baruch Hashem, I know that face, Shlomo, that when Shalom wasn't happy with you, I know that face, Baruch Hashem. So he was my brother, and we can fight with brothers. Mazel tov, everybody. Now I have a bus to catch.
Yes, I am so thank you so much.
Oh, good.
Maybe your train too. Your elbow was
I don't go underground. About 30 more years I'll go underground. I don't go underground. You should take the elevator train, but never the deep train.
Talks about the train to insanity.
Yeah, we don't do that either. Zev.
So
very glad to have you, Albert.
it's a supposed to be here. I'm gonna share some mazel tov, huge mazel tov. Tzipi. Is John Rosner here? He was here? He left?
He's here.
I just like, I need to, like, he's,
right there. He hears you.
oh my gosh. How you doing?
Stand up.
Okay, good. Okay. So I'm gonna share some personal stories. I have first of all, what a chus to be here. What a chus to work for Yeshiva Shlomo. What a chus to be part of this incredible miracle in Achlot that's happening here in the world. And I want to share some personal stories. Reb Shalom and I were friends a lot before I was friends actually with Judy. We were colleagues in the same high school. We taught in the same school in Montreal. And I was a rookie. I came to Herzliya High School. He was like a longtime teacher there.
I left crying every day from those like teenagers that send me to, I had no idea what to do, how to do with them. And I would go to Rav Shalom. It's like, what?
Why was it one of them? I wasn't in your class.
No, you weren't in my class. I missed you by 1 year. You left. And I would see how Shalom would be like in the halls and everyone is chill with them, and he would go into class and he's actually managing to teach Torah in this animal house, like seriously. And like, how do you do it? And he I'm not knocking Herzliya. I ended up doing very well there. You went to Herzliya High School?
No. I did very well.
I know it ended up like I had one of my prize students is here, John Rosner. It's like it ended up being okay, but thank God, Baruch Hashem, for Avshalom who showed me the way. So he said, "Why don't you just come and sit in one of my classes, and you'll see how it's and you'll see like." I said, "Wow, okay, like a teacher inviting another teacher to like see what's going on in this crazy house," and it was like magic. People were like quick to go to class, very slow to leave the class by the end of the period. It was silent in the class. The class began with, like, his calm presence. I know those faces also. I experienced all of the faces of Shalom throughout the years that I knew him. But when he was in class, there was a yira in the class. There was such a love. And he would this is like a modern day school, high school. Not everyone chose to go to a minyan. He's a Torah teacher. You have to say brachos in the Torah before you learn Torah. And he had a laminated card that he would there would be a rotation. And I saw like the cheshek and like the privilege that each student felt that they wanted to be the one to say the bracha on behalf of everyone else that they should say Amen. That was like an incredible thing, just like that in itself. And they would eat off the palm of his hand. And it's not the content that he taught, which is awesome content, but that with him, it's very appropriate and meaningful that his ptira is an Elul, ani lo dodi v'dodi li, because ani dodi lo dodi, it's not about the ani, it's not even about the dod, it's about the connection of the ani and the dod. And when he approached everything, it was all about the connection. And that's what people felt, that's what people appreciated. That's why the students were not quick to run out of his class when the bell rang. And it was just like, you really see me, you really care about me, and you care about me, and you see me. And that's an awesome thing. And how many people feel seen and cared for in this world? And he's the teacher, aside from all the wonderful teachings that he taught, which is really deep and awesome. That was the big thing, I think. Now, he had a mischievous side. And there was a room in the old part of the school that was for smokers before they decided to ban that from smoking also. And sometimes I would go with him and it would like come back to the new building and like reek from his smoke. But it was just so precious to sit there, even like inhaling the secondhand smoke, whatever. But I just like the time spent with him was just so precious. And he had this mischief in his eyes, and sometimes he would share poetry with me. And another thing that was about him, that when they finally made Aliyah, but he was still there without the family. I think I'm getting that right? He was still in Herzliya 1 or 2 years before. And the kibud horim, the kibud aim that he had, that he showed his mother was something that I also learned from. It was just so precious to behold and to see how he honored and respected his mother. I also got like an amazing tofu recipe from him because it's very important. And it's a very yummy tofu recipe. If you want it, I'll give you Shalom's tofu recipe. Fantastic. And what else did I want to share with you? Not everybody knows this. I hope you forgive me if I'm going to share this with you. It would come out of his kippah once a year on Purim, that he had really very, very long payas, but normally he would keep it tucked in his kippah. And his way of raising money on Purim, like $500 plus, was somebody should dare him, like, if you're going to give me, like, offer him at least $500, he would take down his payas and like walk down the hallway, like in this modern day school, high school, it's like it was a bizarre scene. You understand? Like it was like here in Achlot, Yerushalyim, it's like it's okay. Like who looks at you? But in that context, and he put himself out there. Well, it was uncomfortable, but like for tzedakah, well, you would do anything, right? And I miss the mischief in his eyes. I miss the twinkle. Like this morning, I taught a shiur here in this precious room. What a schut to be here to actually like teach here. It's about tshuva, and the subject was making peace with the Yetzer Hara. And I think it's a shiur. You have to listen to it or not listen to it, but whatever. You're like, it's time for us to make peace with our Yetzer Hara. That was like, it's time. It's time to incorporate that into our avoda. And I think knowing Shalom, he had that to him. He was very much in touch with the Yetzer Hara, and he didn't want to kill it out of himself. He understood the sweetness that you can bring to life if you just hold on to a little bit of the Yetzer Hara. You need it. You need the hot dogs every so often after like Judy makes them eat tofu the whole year round. You need to go to Montreal and just go for the hot dogs, man. Like, it's like, but he approached it with the deliciousness of a mischief of a Yetzer Hara. Like, I'm just gonna enjoy life, and I'm not gonna like always be the good boy that people think that someone that looks like me needs to be, or whatever. So it's like he had a lot of sides to him. Alav Shalom. I was going to say God bless him, but yes, God bless him. Alav Shalom, wherever he is, and really the legacy that he left here at Yeshivat Simchat Shlomo, for me to be part of it and to teach and sit. It took me a long time to be able to get comfortable in the chair, sitting where I'm sitting. It's like, how could I sit there? It's Shalom's chair, like, but okay. And we get over things, and we do what we need to do. You know what I'm talking about, Neely?
No, whatever. It takes time.
It takes time. It takes time. And so I'm going to bless Judy that's holding up the fort here beyond anything. I keep saying to everybody, I'm sorry, Leibish, but she is the real Rosh Yeshiva here. Sorry, you are. I mean, it's like what she does, like for Shevach, the women's program, and the fire that she brings to it and the commitment she brings to it. She mamish was like an ezer, not connected, an ezer to Rev Shalom to bring about a vision of what Torah is supposed to look like, understanding it's about connection. It's not about whatever it is that we teach. It's like, it has to touch the neshama, it has to touch the heart, it has to touch the soul. You have to be moved. You have to feel loved and connected. Both your hearts, very, very wide, and just the whole world, please come in and just, bask in my love. I just want to give you so much love. And this was Shalom, and for sure this is how we experience you, dear Judy. She'll live till 120 in good health and happiness.
Amen, amen.
Judy attended our dance class this week, and she was dancing without anything. Both feet. One foot also on one foot. She was skipping. Yeah, Judy, whatever you it's true. It's true. Even if she was skipping. So blessed. You should see all the nachas from this program that you envision and beyond, which is hard to imagine beyond that because you're already like, it's already beyond. But there's more beyond. Yeah, for Judy, it's always beyond. Okay, so we say l'chaim on a Yahrtzeit. It's a farbrengen. It's a so to the life of Shalom that he lived, that he gave us so much, B'ezrat Hashem, and we'll give him nachas. We'll keep sending the presents up to Shalom, and allow him to do what he does in opening up gates of Shemaim and bringing more blessings to Am Yisrael and in this home, in the program, but wide. All over our name. Thank you. Okay.
Please. All right, great.
Okay. Would you mind being the computer guy? All right, thanks so much. Hi, I'm Eli Steyer, and I didn't know, I didn't meet you. I think I met Shalom once. This was like 7 years ago. And wow, I can't believe it's 8 years ago, actually. It's 8 years ago. And just jumping off when Yael just mentioned that the whole world was open here. And so like I remember I heard rumors of, oh, you gotta go to this house for a Shalosh Shidduch. And I don't think I'll ever forget. Like I came here for a Shalosh Shidduch in like 2016 or 2015, and it was definitely this other world I've never seen before, and it was a beautiful world, and it was a beautiful world I wanted to stay in. And anyway, I met Rabbi Brodt, and I met Judy then briefly, and I just want to let you know what comes to mind is this thought that I once heard from someone I met in New York who said they heard from a rabbi in New York, the Chabad rabbi, that when two people love each other and there's real love there, that creates the energy that could totally heal the world. And I just feel that energy was here and that energy is here. And may you just be blessed with all this kindness and love that you guys have sent out, that you send out, that you do send out. You've already helped me and my whole pretty wife and family already so much. And anyway, just thank you so much for and I thank him for holding and creating this space, inviting me into it. And may Hashem have an aliyah. Thank you.
Good.
I'm Obi and I'm new. I don't know Rav Shalom. But I do want to say I'm so glad that Judy invited me. She didn't invite me, but just that I got a WhatsApp with a flower and just shows the warmth and of this place and coming here I just feel all the love and life and laughter, and I'm hoping to move with Hashem's help here to Nachlaot very soon, and I really would like to join this community. And I feel the warm hug, and I want to say thank you. And I'm sure your husband was a very, very special man. I can tell from the words and the energy and the love. So thank you.
By the way, anybody who has space for Goldie for lunch on Shabbos, please
so
tell her.
It's so cute.
I'm gonna get like 25 messages. This wasn't a paid ad. Okay, who's next?
Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone online. Hi. So first, Judy, I love you with all my heart. I don't know how you do it. Her enthusiasm and positivity grows and grows and grows. It's amazing. It's really amazing. And
you guys are feeding it.
I owe my entire Torah teaching career to Judy and Rabbi Brodt, because when I landed in Nachlaot, my friend said to me, Neely, let's go learn Torah Tuesday mornings. There's this teacher that you kind of know, Leah Golem. And then my friend Lanny and I would come every single Tuesday, and we would learn from Leah, who was hosted by Judy and Rabbi Brodt. And after I heard her a few times, I was like, that's it. That's what I want to do with my life. I just want to do what she does. And I wrote on a plate, there was a paper plate here. And I wrote, Hashem, I want to teach your Torah ASAP. And I pinned it up on my wall. And so thanks to you guys making this space, not only for, my passion, but also a majority of my friends come from this space. We were like in our young 20s, and this was it. And this was like, I can't even imagine Nachlaot without this place. Like when people talk about the magic of Nachlaot, I think it's really just because here. So I just want to bless you with that infinite magic that goes way beyond what you even know. Like that's what's so incredible, is the reach is so amazing. And I want to share one Torah that I learned with Rabbi Brodt. On occasion, I got to come for 12 o'clock. I think it was, I don't know, it's a Parsha? I don't know what it was, but it was Reb Shlomo Torah. It's 12 o'clock with Rabbi Brodt. And he opened up Lev Shamayim. Can you guys hear me over there? Cool. And he taught me this very cool teaching, which I'll teach in short. So Reb Shlomo Kralibach brings, and Reb Shlomo and Shalom taught me the teaching of Aza and Uzel. So the story goes that when the world was created, man had yet to be created, and God said, hey, everybody, the waters, the gold, the minerals, who would like to participate in the making of man? And someone was like, yeah, water's like, I want in. Okay, so there's water in our body. Minerals were like, we want in, because God said, Na'aseh Adam, right? We shall make man. So who's this we? Everything that had been already created. And in this was the angels, except for these two moody, gnarly angels. Azad and Uzal are like, nah, don't make man. What's man worth it for? They're going to destroy the environment. They're going to hurt each other. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Don't make man. So Asa and Uzel didn't contribute this necessarily angelic force, but what they contributed was this Yetzer Hara, where we have this thought of what's man worth it for? What am I worth it for? And this voice is still in us to meet moded with, to deal with, because it was contributed to our creation. And so what Rabbi Brodt was teaching us is that when you take Asa and Uzel and you put them together, you get the name Azazel, which is Gehenna. That when in my mind I carry this angel voice of what am I worth it for? What's she worth it for? What's he worth it for? So, there's what to mitaken there. And so thank you. This teaching has really touched me because, Kol Nidre, we swear away all of the things, the vows that we've said about ourselves. I'm not this, I'm not that. What am I? We swear away. Kol Nidre is I'm getting rid of all the vows, says Rabbi Shlomo Karlibach, that I learned from Morlei Golem because Judy and Rabbi opened the yeshiva. We take all the vows we've made against ourselves and we eliminate those. So I'm blessing us in the merit of Rabbi Brodt that anytime we have a voice about ourselves or someone else, what are they even worth it for? That we can gain awareness and flip it around and see the beauty. And I love you, Judy, and I love you, Rabbi, and I love this community, and I'm deeply grateful. Thank you for letting me share.
Somebody online wants to say something?
Somebody online?
I don't know. Sheva Chazal is on.
If not, Reb Toby. 1 second. Let's get Reb Toby out in Vermont. 1 second, you're next, okay? Can you unmute?
The speaker?
Oh wait, yeah, we gotta speak to Steve. We gotta do some technical. You know how to do it?
Plug it into
Anybody
this
who's
thing right there.
standing out there,
It's on already.
you're welcome to come in. I think
And then
there's
hold it on. Rabbi Toby Weissman.
Yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Toby.
Hi, Judy. Hi, everybody. Hi, Reb Leibish. I feel like I am there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, totally.
Very much.
Okay. I feel like I'm there. I know that Judy says, my husband David and our wedding picture is on your shelf somewhere. So we're always there. And I want to say before I forget, because I'll probably forget to say this, but may Shalom ben Yosef Yehutiel Zusha's neshama have an aliyah, a really high one. I realized today that a lot of my deepest connections are because of Reb Shalom and Judy. First of all, a lot of you don't know me, but David and I started the Yearning for Learning Center for Jewish Studies in Montpelier, Vermont, which is a very, very small town, 8,000 people in Vermont. And we did it because we met Shalom and Judy at the Conference on Judaism in rural New England, where people from Montreal, Boston, New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine would all get together one Shabbos in the year, and Rav Shalom started to come, and Judy, and he would bring some his children from Montreal, and then we decided when he was moving to Israel, I guess he might have moved to Israel, and he was starting the yeshiva. Maybe I'm not sure exactly the timing, but we were sitting on the floor in our living room, and he said, "I want to," we said, "What's it going to take for you to come here 6 times a year for 5 days at a time?" And it was just a preposterous question. And he gave us a very small amount of money, like relatively small amount of money that it would take. And I said, okay. So the next day I called one person I thought might donate because those people, Bill and Mary Markle, they loved Shalom and they loved the Conference on Judaism. And I said, can you support this endeavor for $10,000 a year? Anyway, they said yes. And Shalom started to come to our little town, and people from all over would come. The people from the conference, even people from Montreal, Maine, everywhere. People would come here. He would teach for like 5 days at a time, and it was like 7 to 8 in the morning, 10 to 12, 6:30, 8:30, and we'd come up with these topics, and we would learn Gemara, and we'd learn Hasidus, and people were here like all day long. But the thing is, like, there were so many people that didn't come to the classes. They just came to see him. They just were like lining up to to talk to him for a few minutes. And I really wanted to be with him, and my whole family wanted to be with him, but he was like really, really like taken with. I mean, people took his time. People took his time with because everyone wanted to see him and connect with him. So a lot of people are saying the connection. That's what he really taught us. But people came into my life that I'm so close to. Like the other day, Moshe David HaKohen, if you know him, he was teaching at the yeshiva when he had his first child, Naveh, and now he's 18. May he live long. And so Moshe David HaKohen came here a few days ago, and somehow because Shalom and Judy sent him here to our house for Shabbos, and then he sent his brother here to Vermont, and now his brother lives here and is married, has a baby, and we're really, really close with them. We're really, really close still with the children that live in Montreal. We just saw them last week. I think Brian might be here, and even Mordechai came to see us last week, and all my closest friends, Ruth Dorfler, she lives in Canada, like all these people you sent our way, and we're just really, really close with all these people. And I feel like and Shalom always made me feel like I was so special. We would learn together on the phone, like every week. We'd learn like Nitivot Shalom, the Slonim Rebbe. Every time he came here, he would bring us another few Sfarim, like a whole set of Nitivot Shalom once. Sometimes I just open a sefer and there is this beautiful inscription from him. All our daughters were, our 2 daughters were really close to him. One of our daughters, Gea, spent a lot of time at Simchat Shlomo, and would do a lot there when he had to go on a trip, and she would do a lot of work that needed to be done. So we're all really, we feel really close to him. And Judy, when the yeshiva started, the first day we were there, we were staying there. It wasn't like they said, no, we're starting yeshiva, and no, we don't have the energy to host you too. But there we were, it was like the first day, and Roz Hartman, was teaching, and I didn't know, I have a clue who he was. I didn't know he was an amazing teacher, but there he was, and we just couldn't stop learning there. And every single week I'm learning with, Reb Leibish doesn't even know, but I'm listening to his classes every week over and over again. and Amuna's class, and whenever I can, I come to any class I can, and I just feel like so blessed. Like, even though I live in the middle of this little tiny town in Vermont, I'm learning all the time these deepest Torahs. And Rav Shalom, he read our ketubah, he signed our ketubah. I mean, we really I just feel really close. The night that he left the world, I didn't know he left the world. And our friend David and I and Max Levis, who was close with Rav Shalom, he called us up and he says, do you want to learn for the Refuah Shlema of Rav Shalom? And we said yes. And we learned this amazing Torah. I can't remember it, but it was from Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev, and it was incredible, like unbelievable Torah we learned. It really, really was so connected to Rav Shalom. And anyway, that night I had the most amazing dream. Right before I woke up, I dreamt that I saw Shalom, and he looked amazing. He was full of light. And I was so happy to see him, like, well. And I said, Shalom, Refuah Shlema. And he looked at me with the most loving eyes and so much joy, so much light in his face, just shining from one end of the world to the next. And he said, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf. Wow. And then he started walking away and he said, I'm going here. You can't follow me. Wow. But I think about that because I think about that a lot because I think, well, he certainly was going to a good place. He was so full of light and so full of joy. And so I just want to bless everyone here that we keep going strong and we keep the Torahs that are connecting us to the deepest part of our neshama. We keep really learning these Torahs, giving them over, living these Torahs, and being each other's best friends in the world. L'chaim, l'chaim.
Thank you so much, Toby. Thank you so much, love. Wait, I told Abby that he could go, but please, we really want to hear from everybody. I am in jail. Hi, I'm Avi. Thanks, Reb Levish. You might have to do tshuva for making me have to follow that beautiful story. I'm failing parable. I had the zechut to meet Reb Shalom a few times. I didn't have the zechut to know him very well, but I'll just share one story. I've been learning his Torah for years. I lived in Seattle. I was also in the middle of very far away, and I would read his emails every week. And much like others in this room, I was inspired to teach Torah because of him, and a few others that were also like shayach to this yeshiva that have also spoken tonight. And so I was living in Seattle, and I don't know, I needed there to be some Torah learning like in the community, and there was not much. And so it was like I just had to do it. Like it wasn't like I was teaching, it was just like I facilitated. I wanted to have like kind of a little chelek of what they had here in Nachlaot that I heard so much about. And so I did that in my own dining room, and people would come every week and I would teach, or not teach, but I would just like read some Torahs. And every week, just about the email from Yeshivat Simchat Shlomo was, I printed it out and I would find something in there to share along at my table with everybody. And it really like helped me get through living there until I could be blessed to make Aliyah. One time when I was visiting, so I was hearing about this amazing yeshiva with all these classes and Sudat Shlishit and everything. And so I checked out the schedule, and it happened to be that there was going to be a whatever night of the week, there was going to be a shiur over here while I was visiting. And so I was like, oh yes, I finally get to come in person be in person in one of these classes. And so I came and I knocked on the door and like little sheepish coming in, like I don't know, like I'm a little nervous. And Shalom opens the door. Maybe it was Judy, I can't remember. And there's nobody here at all.
Oh no.
Nobody's here. I don't know if this is like typical of the yeshiva that they would post a class and then not have it. Or maybe I had my date wrong. But anyway, Rav Shalom invited me in, and he was actually learning with somebody on the phone. Maybe it was you, so I don't remember. But he didn't say, "Oh yeah, nobody's here," or like come back another time. He said, "Come in. I'm just learning with somebody on the phone," and welcomed me in. And I sat down in the kitchen in there while he was on the phone learning with somebody, and I got to just sit and be, like I got to have something, a little bit of an experience with that, and it's still like it made such an impression on me to this day. And I did have this zechut one time that he came to visit Seattle to our kehila, and I got to pick him up from the airport and drive him to the kehila and everything. So, I miss that I didn't get to have more of a relationship with him, and but I'm very thankful for everything that he put into this world, and I bless all of you and myself that we continue his legacy.
Amen.
Thank you. Judy asked me that.
Yes.
You're in jail. I don't really want it.
People want to hear it back where it was. It's good. It draws the chabra.
You want to hold it back?
I don't know if someone's speaking, but I'm on the Zoom. It's Sarah Danziger. Was someone else gonna speak? I couldn't tell.
Yeah, somebody else is speaking.
Oh, okay. When they're done.
Yeah, I'd be happy to speak after Sarah as well.
My name is Ev. I've known Judy and Shalom from Montreal. We have neighbors Montreal, Yael, Montreal. So there's a lot of the Montrealers.
Right.
But we're old Montrealers. We're from the old country. It all started. I'm Shar Shemayim. Judy takes a look at me, and I was in the Nazir, so I had long beard, long hair. Remember those days? I put the film on my kids when they came off to talk. And so Shalom came up to me in Shar Shemayim and said, and I sort of felt a kinship because he had a long beard as well. And they introduced me to Rav Shlomo. And kind of goes like this. So I move into Utrama, which is really not the area for a guy like me to be in, but I found a place I could play drums, and it was at the right price. And just moving in a balagan, and who was there to soften the blow was Shlomo Brodt, the Brodt family. I lived one street behind Pittsburgh, and they lived Barclay, right? So they were sort of leveling off my harif to this community, and they were sort of patching the holes. And they would say, "Come over for Shabbat," and they would invite all the students from the school that Shalom was teaching at. And then Shalom, it was about 1980 something, right? 5, something around there. So he would say, "Okay, Zeb, go ahead, and then I give you free reign." And I would have to go around the table and tell something about everybody at the table, and then Shalom would check that face, if Shalom Katz is still there, that face to see if I was right. And I don't know how by miracle, but I was right. Just nailed everybody. And then Shlomo Karlebach came to their house, and then he did a show, a big show at another place. And Judy said, "Hey, why don't you go?" And then she kept everyone away from me. I know I walked in and I was like, Tzataka, just leave him alone. Because I really didn't want to be there. I was like to practice 7 hours a day in my studio. And to go see an aging rabbi sing at a tune or play guitar at a tune is not really what I wanted to do. Generation Shevet Levi, this is not something I wanted to do, right? So he takes his guitar and he strums, and it's completely Leibish. No tune. How he sang with this was incredible. And I stood up to leave. And Judy and Shalom looked at me, and then I heard his voice. And I sort of felt gold. There was something like Shem Tov. And I said, okay, I didn't know that line at the time. And I sat down and said, I'm giving it a chance. So now during intermission, everyone's fressing, and I just jumped on stage because I'm that type of character, right? So I tuned his guitar. I couldn't take it, So I tuned the guitar, and nobody was there. Nobody was. There's a beam, nobody was there at all. So the intermission, everyone came back to listen, and he strums a guitar and he stops and he looks at me. Out of everybody, he goes, "Oh, shh, tune like Shemayim." And I said, "How would you know?" But he said that was my first. So I said, "Okay." So then I was introduced to the family and to their kids, Nachi and Nachman. And Nitzach and Nachi, and so I was part of the family. He was teaching them drums, and they went to Shlomo Karabach's shul for Sukkot, for Moed, going into Shabbat, and so I had the pleasure of meeting, Moshe Geller. I'm sure you all know Moshe Geller. I just it's a typical Yahrtzeit of people, and I want to bring that kesher in there. So Shalom said, "Who?" And Judy said, "Who can take Zev? Because we need an extra place for Zev to sit or stay." So Moshe Geller said, "Okay, I take him." And I said, "Oh my God!" So I had my little book of Baal Shem Tov, and Shalom and I were learning Baal Shem Tov. I kind of at that time I didn't know anything about Torah, so I just knew I liked Baal Shem Tov because you seem to have this. He wasn't afraid of the non-Jews, and he was able to give over that we're strong. We're not wimps, and. Shalom Brodt too. Rav Shalom Brodt also gave. That's the same. That's a kesher I want to bring up here. He wasn't afraid.
Fight the Frenchies.
Exactly. We called them the Pepsis. I'm sorry, but that's what And
let's go to the Frenchies.
We didn't turn the Shalom because of his father did not turn the other cheek. As a matter of fact, just let me diverge for a second. I'm a drummer, and I wanted him to take my drum pedal, which is heavy. Bring it back from Montreal, bring it here. I want this specific drum pedal because I like it. I spent a lot of time with it, and I'm very particular about my bass drum, and I want this pedal. He goes, he's about something, Zev, it's heavy, and I'm not sure. I said, no, I want you to take it, carry on. And he goes, you really, listen, and you know how he gets, right? He gets like his back is against the wall. I said, listen, Zev, come on, you're pushing a lot on me. It's just, Shalom, remember you talked about your father? Now, he brought up his father. I don't know if anyone knows the story, and he told me the story. And Shalom Brodt was the one that introduced me to Gemara, and Shalom Karabach got me into Gemara. This is why I'm now picking up my Gemara, even though I left it because of Sameach. My fault. They started me, and it went like this: Zev, my father made out of Auschwitz. You want me to turn the other cheek, and my father had a little bit of chemical and water, and he made matzah for Pesach, and he slept in the street, but he had matzah. So that's what he told me. Balpeh, okay? So I said, okay, Shalom, if your father can do that, you can take my pedal. It's okay. I got you. Okay, and you know what? He brought me the pedal, carrying on. He says, here's that. It was your slut. Okay, so right? He did not turn the other cheek. So that's the kesher I had with him. So you can imagine that anybody we saw that was following the line, him and I would get together, and we pounded the gun. So much so, it didn't just stop at never someone getting out of line, opening his mouth too much, someone actually getting really frisky, maybe not towing the line. Does anyone remember what was that? Rebbe of Tosh. Remember the Rebbe of Tosh? Tosh Rebbe. So who introduces me to Tosh Rebbe? So Tosh Rebbe, if anyone wants the Daled Zamo, there was a specific, the Rebbe of Tosh, he was Levi, and story has it from Shalom Brodt and also from other people with the Rebbe of Tosh, was that he was a Holocaust survivor, and that what happened was in Auschwitz at that particular time, when he was in Auschwitz, there was a rumor rolling around that anyone caught davening was going to be shot on sight. It was a Luger. That was what they describe as the gun. How do I know that? Because the Rebbe of Tush was always davening. Even he just didn't even realize he was davening. Story goes, which I heard from him, from a translator, was that he was davening and this 19-year-old SS soldier put a Luger to his head and he pulled the trigger and it didn't go off. And he kept pulling, wouldn't, and the guy was like turned white. So that's the Rebbe of Tush, right? So Shlomo and I go to the Rebbe of Tush with this. He didn't pull any punches. We caused such a ruckus in that place because whenever Shalom Brodt found, Rav Shalom Brodt found injustice, meaning that the guy, because of my look, the long hair, the long beard, someone's pressuring me. Little did they know that they were saving him from my reaction because I was still young and still knew that giving a shot to another Jew was, I grew up that way. So doing it again, even in touch, didn't mean anything to me. Shalom went interference. I was davening and some guy said, one, Shema, one God. I went, peace. Two, no. So it's heretic. So I like saying two. Shalom comes running into the guy, leave this guy alone. And then a week before, they wore this funny looking jacket because I don't have a jacket. And I didn't have a lot of money at the time. And so everyone's like wondering, what are we doing? And then the Rebbe just wanted to speak to me privately. I said, no, I'm not speaking to you privately. And then someone said, well, he wants to speak to him. I don't care. I don't want to speak to him. So he gave me like a medallion as a tzedakah. So I pulled out and I gave him a tzedakah. So it was like this. I was known as a person that just treated everyone equally. And we didn't turn the other cheek. So the end of it all was that so Shalom was the one that started me on Gemara. Rosh Hashanah is coming up, and I want to dedicate some of the things that I've learned because him and Shlomo Karabach got me into Gemara. How did it happen to Gemara? How come I have to learn all of Shas? Because Sukkot, Judy. I don't know if you remember. Shlomo Ed going into Shabbat. We're at Shlomo Karabach's shul. Your whole kick and boodle family, me, Moshe Geller, and everyone's doing bongs, and I'm like I'm reading like Baal Shem stories to everybody, and don't stop. Wow, really? Wow, is that heavy, man? And I'm going, wow, I really, this is not cool. What are we doing here? Like, I trying to start over. I'm bringing Baal Shem stories, and all of a sudden I said, I can't take this anymore. It's going into Shabbat. I can't take it. It's my first time doing Sukkot, and going into like Chol Moed, and now it's going into no. So I lived in New York. I was supposed to play with Tony and John Bon Jovi, and I was like, oh, I'm going to make it big, So I said, I'm going to I'm at a music store, and it's Chol Moed. I figured, it's like muksa. What am I know about muksa? So this rabbi comes running out, muksa. Look, I had my pouch. This Indian made me a pouch. I had my money. I'm going there. I'm going to play a little bit with the people that I knew back then, just to get out of this whole I can't breathe. And who comes out of the corner? Shlomo Karabach. And I never saw him in my life. He's supposed to be a nice guy, right? Shmamish. Screams at the guy, no! And the guy turned white and I ran. And I had a good jam session. Going back to the Gemara. Okay, so I'm learning Gemara. We come back and someone says, look, I think we should learn Gemara. At that shul, at that time, during the Hakafot, Rav Shlomo Karabach was auctioning off Gemaras. So I asked him, I said, look, Bereshit, Yom, Laila, Hayom, Besof, right? I'm saying, well, how could it be Yom and Laila, then Yom again? He starts to smile, says, come here. I said, no, I want to, show him. No, come here. Says, you got something. Yeah, Mama, you do have something. I said, I don't know. This whole thing, Mama says, come on, So, okay, and he holds up a Gemara, and he's auctioning. He said, no, I want that one. Black, nothing. So here, and then I didn't have $10, so someone brought me, and I paid him. And I says, you have to, but listen, and he didn't give it to me. He held it. Okay, so you have to learn this. Give me it, man. I'll stand around 2 feet. I said, I'll do it. I have my word. That's all I have. But I'll do it. He says, okay. I forgot what Gemara. It's been a while, so I have so obviously the only thing I can do is right. Okay, so we're sitting. I said, so I brought the Shalom Brodt. I said, Shalom Brodt, listen, I gotta learn Shas. He looks at me and he starts laughing. You mind? No, really. You know what I told him the story. He goes, okay. He puts the second audience, right? And he's wearing the shirt. You know that shirt that he had that remember that shirt he used to wear for Shabbat? He had that shirt. He has a little shirt, and he's wearing. He starts feeling it was okay. So we go to his mother's house. You remember his mother, right? Okay, so his mother is like she sees me learning with him, and man, she like really got a lot of chizuk from the fact that we're learning his father's those huge gemaras, you know, the real old ones. You give guy a zest with that, right? So we start learning, and then Shalom Brod's going, listen, it's a conversation. He's saying, what do you mean a conversation? It's a page. What do you mean it's a conversation? You know, it comes to life, 3D, you know, it's, come on, Shalom, are you nuts? No, it's a conversation. So you start to learn, right? So Masechet Rosh Hashanah, I'm on Lamed Daled. I'm almost finished. I think I'm gonna finish the Masechet. I'm gonna do a siyum just before Rosh Hashanah, okay? So what's interesting is this whole machloket about the Truah, right? Rav Abu. I need to share this one thing, Rav Abu. I know it's probably not Kedai, but I want it because it has something. So Rav Abu used to he used to walk into a city and hold up ketubah and says, who wants to marry me? I said, he was a really good son to rabbi. Chazak Ma'od, okay? Now the whole thing centers around the machloket of Rav Abu didn't quite know if it was Ganachanuchi or Lule Lule, meaning we translated from Judges, Shvatim, that Sisera, his mother, did she moan first or did she whimper first? And this is the whole machloket. You know, we get the whole Truah is derived from the mother of Sisera. Okay, and so because of the machloket, which is a Truah or Shvatim, how many do we do? So I came with the machloket that you have to do both so that we make sure that we take care of the machloket, right?
The whole shas.
Whole shas. And if Jews care so much about the machloket, it must transcend, since it's coming from Sisera, the mother of Sisera, Ima, the woman's love for her son. Then there must be this love of Kodesh Baruch to the Jewish people. Therefore, I don't mind for the machloket to do a little bit extra, provided God does that extra too. And since then, there was a question that Abu answered. What did he answer? He answered, the angels, they asked him, how come the Jews don't sing during Hallel and Yom Kippur, like Rosh Hashanah? And Abu says, God has the book open of life and death, and the children should sing. And what did Shlomo Carvel say? Yes, sing. And he did. So the end of my conclusion is that Judy is my second mother. And Judy, thank you. It's been a roller coaster ride, yes, but you prepared me. I'll never forget the Montreal. Jeremy, very school. It's a Levish who has aspired to become a very, very beautiful rabbi. Dealt with a lot of Nisayon himself. It's not easy. Judy, thank you. Lots of love to you.
Want to say something? 1 second before you go.
Thinking about the connection of Shlomo and Shalom. Yeah. So we're talking about, well, that's a very close in person to the history. 376 and 375.
That's right.
So the kollel of Shlomo is Shalom. They're uniting in the kollel together. That's all I can think of.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Was there somebody online? Two people. Two people, yeah, okay. We're gonna attach the, let's see. Yeah. They want to say before you go. Maybe they want to say 2 words before you go?
How are we doing for battery?
Okay. Oh,
It's
no.
okay, no.
Yes, okay. Okay, so who?
Who wanted to speak?
I'll say a word or two.
I can say a word, but I think there was a woman before me.
Raise your hand, people. Anyone?
Here, let me find them and I'll pin them to the screen.
Wait, oh.
I'll bring them to the screen, whoever it is. I don't know who it is. But,
Hi, it's Eliezer, Reb Shalom's nephew.
there it is. I think I found them.
Toronto.
But I think someone raised her hand before me, so I'm happy to wait or go now, whatever you guys prefer.
No, go for it.
Let me just move my screen over so I'm not looking sideways at you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And see
Hi,
me?
Alejandra.
Hi, Judy. How are you?
Wonderful. Baruch Hashem.
So I obviously wanted to
That's
say hi
right.
to you, and I see that Bryna. Hi, Bryna. My cousin Bryna is on the call, and I see Jamie there. Hi, Jamie Shear. So nice to see you. Mazel tov on your child's recent wedding. Mazel tov. I saw the pictures, and I'm a huge fan of your Machatanim. Please give Gil my best, and I also see Rev Tuvia Aronson, a friend of mine, on the call. So hi, Tuvia. Hope you're doing great. I think I might have even introduced Tuvia many years ago to my late uncle, or suggested to him that he reached out to Reb Shalom many years ago because I knew that they would hit it off, and they did. So I don't know if I get credit for that or not, but it's great to see you, Tuvia. So first of all, Judy and family, my uncle Shalom's neshama have an aliyah, and he be a Melitz Yosher and kind of an advocate, as I think translation is an advocate for Am Yisrael and the people of Israel and the state of Israel during these very difficult times. So may he continue to hopefully put in a very strong word for us and tell Hashem to help us, get through these difficult days and get our hostages back and defeat our enemies and combat anti-Semitism in Canada, the US, sadly around the world, as quickly as possible. I just want to say that, I grew up in Montreal, so thank God I knew my uncle Shalom, who's my dad's brother, was my dad's brother for my whole life. And it's always such a pleasure and source of nachas for me and my family every time and this happens, actually, it just happened this week. I've run into literally hundreds of people over the years that when I introduce myself as Eliezer Brodt, they will say, "Oh, is Mar Brodt," when he was a teacher in Montreal, or it was Reb Shalom Brodt when he was moved to Israel. Is he your? And they're about to say father, and I say, "Well, he's my uncle," and they will just tell me superlatives about him. Oh, I had him in Herzliya when I was in high school, or he taught me in Hebrew Academy when I was in elementary school, because he taught at all the Jewish day schools for over 25 years. Or if I met them later in life, they would say, "Oh, I studied by him in Achalot at his yeshiva." Oh, I went to some amazing Sudashli sheets at his house. And it's incredible to see what a positive influence he's had on thousands of people throughout his life. And even to this day, as I can see from some of these stories, he's still having a positive influence on many of you through his learnings that have continued through the people in his yeshiva and through Judy. So it's really wonderful to see and to see how many people of all walks of life he brought closer to Judaism. So makes me really happy to see. And again, I just mentioned that this literally just happened a few nights ago. I was at my son's high school's curriculum night, and I ran into friends of mine that I hadn't seen in a while, Daniel and Andrea Freiheit from Montreal. And we were catching up, and Andrea said to me, "Oh, Rav Shalom was related to you, right?" And I said, "Yeah, he was my uncle." And he said, "Yeah, he taught me in high school in Montreal. He was an amazing teacher. So sorry?
He was a cute kid.
Yeah.
Who was?
Freiheit.
All of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Freiheits are great. The Freiheits are a great family. So anyway, that's all I want to let other people speak, but just wanted to share that with you. And it's so nice of you to put this Zoom call together every year and give us a chance to reflect and share stories and sing in his honor and memory. And we should all do mitzvahs today and beyond to, give his neshama an aliyah. And Bli Nader, I have a good story about him, a couple of them, but I've spoken long enough. I want to give others a chance to speak. So Bli Nader at a future get together, I'll share that story.
Shabachai wanted to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. One footnote. To Judy, I don't know if you know this, but my daughter Ayelet is just started her gap year last week at Miklela Tarova in the Old City. So Bli Nader, I will tell her to reach out to you, and hopefully I don't know if you've had a chance to meet her yet, but hopefully you will in the coming weeks.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please encourage her. But send me her phone number or something, okay?
Okay, I will. Bli Nader, I'll let her know, and then I'll do that.
Thank you. Baruch Hashem.
You're welcome.
Shabachai, you're on.
Okay. Shalom, everyone. How lovely and pleasant is all of this, really, so special. So in the schut of our learning and getting together and the love that is flowing, we Rav Shalom ben Yosef Yekutiel Zusha should have an aliyah to the highest Gan Eden. I'm sure he's already there dancing with the Baal Shem Tov, and we should see great things shifting. I want to share just really shortly a couple of things. Rav Shalom, basically when I showed up, I came to his class and I was drawing him in class instead of taking notes. And it was the first time I met him, and he asked me after class if he could see my notes. And so I showed him, and it was a little sketch of him. And he said, "Oh, I think I have something for you." So he brought me the story of how Zaidi came to Eretz Yisrael. And I just came to Israel, and I was getting into art, but I didn't know if I would do art or not. And like as an official thing, because no one in the world seemed to think that it is an official thing, which is sometimes still an issue. But he brought me this story, which was a poem that he said just flowed out of him, of how he came to Eretz Yisrael. And I lived in an apartment in Nachlaot and sat down for, I don't know, a few weeks or months and painted like 14 paintings, and it turned into this story, which I'm still working on making a good high quality version of it. Sorry, it's a blurry background, so we'll wait for the good version of it. But I want to share with you what he said to me was, first he gave me the poem to work with, and I made these paintings, which are, you can just see the paintings themselves. They're in the stairwell of the house. Those of you who are in the Brodt's house or are lucky enough to be there, so you can check them out. And I had no idea that this was like, gonna have a string through my whole life, but now I'm trying to push through to make a really good production of this book, this story of how Zaidi came to Eretz Yisrael with nice quality, and it should really be ready actually very soon, like mamish soon, Baruch Hashem, finally. And in making the paintings, Rav Shalom would look at my paintings and he would say, "Did you sign it?" And sometimes pretty much I didn't at that point. And he basically told me I needed to sign my paintings in his very subtle way, which was saying something to me like, it matters that you do this. So I want to share with you now, Baruch Hashem, I get the zchut to teach in Shevach, and we do Torah and art classes, and I got completely like head over heels on Rav Kook's teachings. Why? Because Rav Kook talks about the spiritual importance of creativity. And so we have this amazing book that Rabbi Ari Zev Schwartz put together. Boy, sorry, I'm blurry there. There you go. And this Sefer, we've been learning it, and I'm just going to share with you a couple of words from Rav Kook, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with them, the Benny Landau song, Ben Adam, Alei Lamala Alei. So there's this idea that we have wings, we have spiritual wings, and we can rise up. And I feel like this is what Rav Shalom was saying to each and every one of us and every person that he met always, and did it in such a way that people could actually hear it. So Rav Kook says, if you will, human being, look at the divine light inside of everything. Look at the heavenly life, how it spills in every direction and corner of reality. The divine light is in the spiritual as well as the physical. It stands before the eyes of the body as well as before the eyes of the soul. Contemplate the wonders of creation. All of these words, by the way, just remind me of Rav Shalom, like straight up. Look at the divine life within them. Do not perceive the universe as a faded image that's placed in your line of vision from afar. Rather, you must be familiar with the reality in which you live. Know yourself and your world. Know the thoughts of your own heart and of every visionary and philosopher. Find the source of life that is within you, that's beyond you, and that surrounds you. Know the glory of life of which you are a part. So now this is like the heart of it, which is so Rav Shalom. You must take the love inside you and elevate it to its powerful, refined, and beautiful source. Expand this love in all its branches to anything that has the soul of life inside. It's only the fault of the perceiver that causes the light to appear diminished. Look into the lights and into their essence. Do not let the descriptive names swallow your soul. Indeed, the words and letters are given into your hands. You are not given into their hands. And then this is the line, rise up higher and higher. Ben Adam, rise up. Alei lamala alei. You have enormous strength. You have spiritual wings. Yesh lecha kanfei ruach. You have the wings of a powerful eagle. Do not deny them, or they will deny you. Seek them, and they will find you immediately. So thank you, Rav Kook, and thank you so much for Rav Shalom, who said to me, and I'm sure he said to everyone else too, he said this to me. So I was, painting, I liked it, it was nice, but he said to me, like, this is you need to do it. And I feel like he's still saying that to me, you need to come and sit in that room and keep going there with anyone who's going to come and everyone who's meant to come. Like sometimes, someone shared earlier, one person shows up for class, 5 people show up for class, 20 people show up for class, whoever it is, look for that place that's so real and alive, and it'll make you be who you really need to be. And we can all do that for each other. And sometimes we get the gift of someone like Rav Shalom who will come and look us in the eye and tell us that, tell us to do it, to find your wings. And I bless us to all do that for each other always, and really for everyone that we meet, and take that light that Rav Shalom gave from all these different angles. And thank you so much. What a special experience to get to be a part of such a beautiful community. Love you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
you too.
Thank you, Shabbat. Take it back.
Is somebody else online that raised their hand? Anyone else here? Maybe we'll do a little music. And then
Seems like they found
started.
oh, bring them in.
I actually have a quick thing.
Tiffy.
I have a quick thing.
Yes.
So Rav Shlomo Katz said that he once spoke to Rav Shalom, and Rav Shalom said that people who are smart don't ask to speak to me. So I once asked to speak to Rav Shalom, and he said, the people who are smart don't ask to speak to me, they ask to speak to Judy.
Nice.
Shalom loved Judy so much. It's so sad and hard that Rav Shalom isn't here with us. It's like hard to believe. The truth is, I don't even let myself feel it so much because it hurts too much. But every once in a while I go there a little bit, and it's just like the stupidest thing ever. It's just the worst. I'm so grateful to Rav Shalom and to Judy for everything. There's so much to say, but I want to say one thing. I used to work upstairs in the office, And I also encountered like the spectrum of like the scary like eyes when you know like whatever. And also Rav Shalom would crack himself up.
He would,
And
yeah.
like every once in a while he'd be in this like phase where he had these like Hasidish jokes that in my opinion were not like very funny. But the part that was funny was like how hard he would like actually laugh. That was like the part. So okay, I pulled up a joke. This is a Rav Shalom joke. Okay. A police officer was speeding and reckless driving and asked him very nicely if he could see his license. Yankel replied in a huff, "I wish you could get your act together. Just yesterday you take away my license and now you expect me to show it to you?"
Oh, that's so.
Okay, one more. One more. This one's called financial advice. Rishon would have loved this one. Okay. A poor man managed to get an appointment with a wealthy Jewish philanthropist by insisting that he had a foolproof way for the man to make $5 million. So let me hear your idea, said the philanthropist. It's very simple, replied Yankala. I understand that when your daughter gets married, you're planning to give a dowry of $10 million. No, said the philanthropist. So Yankala says, so I've come to tell you I'll marry your daughter for half the amount. And then Sean would be like,
with the wheeze, with the wheeze. Right there.
Anyway. Chaim.
Oh, L'chaim.
We love you so much. Okay, those were like my favorites. I could just like, I don't know. Okay, here, I don't know what this will be. Okay, the package. Maishi walks into a post office to send a package to his wife. The postmaster says, "This package is too heavy. You'll need another stamp." Maishi replies, "And that should make it lighter?"
Yay for jokes. It used to be a time to say jokes around 12:30, 1 o'clock at night after my dear husband washed the floors after a whole day of learning, and then we would look at each other and knew that like everybody had stories, but real stories, real life. Everybody's real life was always filling the hours, the moments of each day. And it was really sometimes very heavy. So we just had to have some jokes at that, like in the middle of the night. Yeah.
No, straight away. I'll say. Oh yes, well he was waiting. Just right. Oh, well, whatever.
It would be just trumping everybody because of so many years that I just don't remember. It really goes back to 1971 to this year, maybe 1970. So it's a long time, and we, he tried to teach me. I don't think it really worked because I was a kid, and I was basically a sassy kid. We did a lot of stuff together. In Hebrew, you say we stole horses together. We ran around a bit, and we knew each other at different stages of our lives. One was my adolescence. Another one was his coming of age. I met Judy after I knew Shalom a long time. And she set him straight. I don't think he would have been able to do what he did without you. And you carried a lot for him. I think you really gave him a lot of courage. What I want to say is that knowing Shalom and sort of a little bit like Zev, and being Montrealers and having been in snowball fights and gone to odd, blues bars together and done all kinds of, neat things that you do in Montreal when you're a guy. I want to say, and I talked with him. He got me a gig teaching with him, and I taught for a few years in the same school. So instead of telling you like really decades of stories, I just want to thank Judy for having been there for him, and he for all of you made it possible for him to do real Keiruv. I never agreed with him politically, theologically. Don't get it wrong. We mostly argued all the time, and maybe the last 20 years we hardly saw each other. I think it was a real privilege that I was able to see him just before he passed away, and in the hospital, Mama. So there was that moment, and we weren't angry at each other or anything, but we were just doing different stuff. Very, very different stuff at the time. Maybe the best way to talk about the courage that might resonate with you is that when Shalom would teach a tune. Now, you're a musician, even though you don't do it much. People don't know this. I know this. And I have a little bit of an ear as well. And we both know what an ear is and what an ear is not. And it took time for Shalom to learn how to sing, never mind teach a song. And what I want to say is this is where I can talk about his courage to take the mantle of the teacher and be a it's not an obvious thing to do. It's not an obvious thing to do. I still haven't had the courage to do it, and I've been a big mouth most of my life, and a sassy guy. And for this, I think you have to know that as a human being, it was something for him to take what he had and to put it out for others. It was something for him. It took a lot of courage, finally, to really be himself and do all this. It was not obvious to be a kid, a second generation kid, and immigrations, the whole story. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Some of us know it resonates personally with several of us here because we're not 32. And from that place, just big shkoyach, and I feel very privileged to see the resonance and radiation of what he had to share. And I think you'd be so happy to know that this is what happened from his work. That it really happened. Yeah. Always. Yeah, it's exactly like always, and it was real challenges. I mean, you have to understand that talking to upper class rich Jews in Montreal is not an obvious thing. It's not an obvious thing. When it's coming to Israel and struggling, to count as a teacher, it's not an obvious thing. I gave him a hard time. He was maybe 22, but I gave him a hard time. And I challenged him, but we made friends. And I just want to say today, I was speaking to my mother on the phone. She's still alive, and I couldn't tell her I was going. What's your name? Uri. I couldn't tell her Ben Shabbat. I couldn't tell her where I was going. I didn't know if she remembered that I told her or not. And Shalom had, Shabbos with us a lot of times. So all I want to say is thank you for the privilege of sitting with you all. Judy Shkoyach, Shalom knows Judy show. And I don't know everybody here, and I'm sorry if I'm not being respectful in terms of your inputs and work, but I'm sure that it's there. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Talk to your family.
Me? Yes. So I'm feeling a little it's shy. I'm feeling a little kinat sofri. I never had the privilege to study text with Shalom. In fact, only once, and that was on my mother-in-law, Bracha Schwartz's deathbed. And we were there waiting in the waiting room, and he opens up Mishnah Torah. Let's learn. And I think that was the only time I learned text with him. And I remember so many memories. This is going back 35 years. And I was a Ben Bait in your home. I was a Ben Bait in your home. I was one of you. I was in Montreal, and it wasn't like here when you had so many people. It was many times alone. There was a time when I was going through a hard time here in Israel, and I just remember here in Israel, in this home, so many people. In the other home, the smaller place in Nachlaot, so many people. I was there also, but some hard times I was here, just three of us on a Friday night. And just a lot of memories. I think I was you were exemplary. You are an exemplary, and Shalom, what to me was an exemplary. He taught by through living, and what I've learned so much from him was ahavat Torah and ahavat chesed. Just the love of giving and the love of community and family and everything. But I think everyone said it really, really well. That's what I learned so much. So many stories. Anyway,
Thank you.
Thank you.
So great thing.
Jim is a sofer, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what? But it's just the music. Yeah. Tell the chevra to come in. Music. Ari. Wanna come next week? Oh, Rachel Steinman. Okay, you'll be next, Ari, and then Rachel, and we'll have some music.
Oh.
Are you willing? Sure. Sipora, are you willing to share that document with all this joke?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Yeah.
I need the jokes.
No. Okay, I'll send it to the WhatsApp.
Which was?
They're pretty good. Oh, are you on like the Simchat Shlomo WhatsApp or Leidish's class?
Hey, Sefo, I have a quick story about. We're still going.
Do you have? I'll send it to your Leidish.
Yeah, come by.
It's a resource.
Oh my gosh.
Does anybody
They're
know
good.
where
They're good.
They're good. Oh, great. Ben Miller's also on his way, so we'll figure it out. I think so. Call him, okay? Okay, people are still going here, so I gotta get off the phone. Okay,
It's really good to have a new source of jokes, because this church is well normal.
Okay, all right.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. There's one story that always comes back to my head amongst the others every year on this day. So I used to frequent the Suda Shlishit, the meals here years ago, and that's where I initially laid my eyes first on Shalom. I believe you too, Judy, at that time, and I couldn't stop coming, no matter how much I couldn't breathe. The amount of people inside, and almost within the first maybe few weeks of me showing up, when anytime I would take a sefer from the shelf, very often I like to have a sefer next to me, and but just to be able to look into maybe. Every time I'd bring it to the table, Shalom would say Pesach, Pesach, and I would remember it because of the chametz has to be getting. Anyways, and I would take it up.
And I was always thinking
the
about
whole
Pesach.
year.
Oh yeah.
And then I would take it, I would remember, and I would keep it on my lap. And he would smile, and I'd forget every Shabbos that I showed up, and he would always say it. And then I came back for Shiva, and I went to reach for Mishnayos, and I almost put it on the table, and I heard him say Pesach, Pesach, and I remembered. But why? But I have so many friends that were not told Pesach, Pesach, and put the sefer on the table. Come on, there's many people. So till today, I don't fully understand it, but I did tell myself that I'd like to maybe have a takeaway. I've never really had too much of a takeaway from this story. And this year maybe could be different. Baruch Hashem, the past years I actually helped. I helped Rabbits and Bread here clean this farm for Pesach, which was interesting. But I believe the idea was, you could be a little bit careful
you could live a little bit of Pesach all year, be a little bit careful of your chametz. And when it comes to having Pesach just with you in your brain all the time, even when it comes to taking a sefer to your table, you remember all the parts of Pesach, not just the idea that we all get OCD and be the most neurotic beings for 2 weeks, but the idea that it's Pesach. And I want to wish everyone a ksiva v'chsima tova. And it's written actually that on the 15th of Tishrei, it's like the other side of the year, which is the 15th of Nisan. And you go out of your slavery, when you're together in the sukkah. So I want to wish everyone already a happy and freilich and Pesach, to go out of their slavery immediately for this new year. Amen.
Oh, Shalom Aleichem. Shkoyach for the guitar. Let's play. What's your name? Ruben. Shalom Ruben. Shalom Aleichem. Let's do some music. Well, Rachel, you're next. But Rachel, can you wait a couple of minutes for some nigun, or you want to go right now?
I can wait.
Let's do a little musical. Yeah, it's been Sailor. Great, thank you. Okay. Okay, good.
I'm begging you, my love. I'm begging you, I'm begging you, my love. I'm begging you, my love. Begging you, my love. I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging you, my love. I'm begging you, the Messiah. My love, begging you, my love. I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging, begging you, my love. Begging you, begging you, begging you, begging you. I'm begging, I'm begging, I'm begging, begging you, my love. I'm begging you, oh, the Messiah. Feel a bit. Messiah, bagging, I'm bagging, bagging, I'm bagging, I'm bagging. I'm bagging, I'm bagging, I'm bagging. Bagging, I'm bagging, I'm bagging. Bagging, I'm bagging, I'm bagging. I'm begging you, my love, I'm begging you. The Messiah, you'll never get.
Thank you, beautiful. Really cool stuff, man. Baruch haba. Yes. Shalom,
I
shalom.
learned yesterday that if you're suffering and you're having like struggles in life, that even though it's very difficult, you have to protect your mind. Why? Yeah, for yourself, not just for them. Why? When you smile like this, what happens? You smile also. Everyone has smile.
איזה יופי. תודה רבה.
איזה יופי. אוקיי, אז כולם שמחים, מי stress, so he take it out from the depression with a smile, so כדאי לשמוח בשבילך, לא בשביל מישהו אחר.
תודה רבה. Okay, next we've got
It's probably the only house in
Rachel.
Israel that has dual harmonica, like.
Right.
Like, we're so lucky.
We are so lucky.
It's such an engaged Zoom, meaning like it's one thing that everyone in the room is engaged, another thing that people around the world are like, yes,
all
I
around.
need to be here for this, even on a screen.
And at the times that people are probably on.
Yeah. Okay, Rachel, you're on.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hi, I'm here in Philadelphia. So kind of popped in and out between work things. And I didn't even realize that this was a Yahrtzeit, Reb Shalom Brodt Yahrtzeit. I thought I was finally like on the live getting into Amunala's Zoom for her weekly shir. So, but this was like, everything, it's all hashgacha. So I just thought really everything is really hashgacha. And I thought I would just share just what I could share here about Reb Shalom, which is that I actually never met him in person. But like we learned that a real tzaddik, his influence only increases, or hers, when she's left this world. So I mean, it's very clear to me that his presence is very alive. And when we lived in Riverdale in the Bronx, from 2000, what was it, 2006, for 5 years, from 2006 till about 2011, we had a really beautiful chevra there, and that's where I first heard of his name. Through our friends there, Rachel and Avi Rosenfeld, and Rachel in particular, would talk about the Brotts, and you just hear things here and there, beautiful stories, and it's been really nice for the times I've been able, on this Zoom, to hear what people have to share. But then, fast forward to just this past summer, we were in, of all places, place where we go in the summer, in Loon Lake in the Adirondacks, and we're there for a shop. We're there. It was a Shabbos, and there were a bunch of Montrealers there, people from Toronto. It's not too far from Canada. It's about, there's a bunch of Montrealers there, and so friends of ours were there, and I was chatting with my friend Sybil said, "Oh, these are our friends visiting from Yerushalyim," and I started chatting, and I asked her name, and she said, so and so. I'm like, "Oh, what's your last name?" She said Brodt, and I was like, oh, I happen to have a capacity sometimes for remembering names and faces. Maybe people don't always remember me, but maybe it's a little bit of a superpower. I don't know. Or maybe not. And so I said, "Oh, yeah, I know that last name." Oh, so so I said, "Oh, there's Rabbi, there was, I know of that name. Very revered, Rabbi Brodt." So she sort of shook her head, and so I said, "Yeah, his name is Shalom," and she's like, "Oh, oh, well, that was my brother-in-law." So I think I saw maybe his brother was here earlier on the Zoom. So it just reminds me of just we're all just so connected. It's just such a small world. And I guess through that story, I just, maybe a bracha to share that we should all have the opportunity to, you know, to get to know each other in person, more. There's so many people who, who have in-person connections and then there are those, from our chevra, just in the world, who, for whatever reason haven't been able to get out and connect, one to one. But for those connections that do happen, even if it's just, walking side by side with your cousin for a half an hour you haven't seen, and you happen to be able to see them once, for 10 years, to just like really like appreciate those moments that we have together. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Rachel, where are you?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay. So good. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm glad you got to be on.
Thank you. God willing, we're on our way. We're on the derech home. So God willing, Bezras Hashem, we'll be there soon.
Okay. Wow. Frida, do you want to say something? And Paulie, where are you? I don't know how to do this. So I don't, maybe they're not hearing me because I don't know how to work computers. But is there anyone else over here who would like to say something? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, Rosner, yes. How could you not?
My name is Jonathan. For those who were here early on in the evening, I was one of those students in Yale Dorkin's class. 30-something years ago. So that's the key.
Do I have to unplug this? Okay. And this also? Yes. Okay.
My name is Jonathan Rossner. I'm from Montreal originally. I've been living for about 21 years. And for those who heard Yael Rebitz and Dworkin, Yael Dworkin speak before, I was one of those students in high school that was causing apparently trouble in class. And we were causing a ruckus and maybe not being so respectful to her. Although too bad she's not here, because my memories of her are that she was an amazing Torah teacher and never let on that she had any difficulty teaching us, which is kind of funny hearing her perspective. I wanted to tell a story. This goes back almost 30 years. You might remember this, Judy. I had Shalom as a Torah teacher in many different contexts. I had him in elementary school, just going back in the 1980s. I had him in high school. And then he moved here, I moved here. We'd see each other every now and then. And in high school, he stood out. It's sort of hard to maybe explain for those who, I don't know, people's backgrounds, but in high school, we went to Yahrtzeit high school. I tell people, those who are from Montreal might know, it's a religious high school on paper. Like, you look it up, it's like a religious school. There's like, a minyan and davening and like Gemara, whatever else. But tachlis, most of the students weren't so religious. Some people wore kippahs, most people didn't wear kippahs. If people wore tzitzit, it wasn't exactly the most religious place. And there were a few other religious, call them frum-looking teachers, not many, but Rav Shalom, he was very tall, taller than most people, and he had his big face, which he kept up his kippah or took out, and his big beard, and he had this huge, like, tzitzit, multicolored tzitzit that were just like out there. So he was like a sight to see. And I had him a few times as a Torah teacher. And I remember we were in 11th grade, and he knew most of us by that point. And we had learned Breshit for a couple of months. I don't know what happened one day. He came into class, and he asked one of the students, he said, do you know what it means when I say, Vayechudu Hashamayim va'aretz? Student is something like 7th day of the week, Shabbat. He's like, yeah, but you know what it means? Student was like, not really. And he started asking the whole class, like, do you guys know what Kabbalat Shabbat is? There were some kids who were from in the class, some religious, some learning a bit more, like myself, and none had a very good answer for him. So people were talking about his eyes, he got like really upset or aggravated or like in shock. He was like, stop. We are not learning any more Torah. We're changing the curriculum. Right now, we're going to learn about Kabbalat Shabbat. He just stopped. He said, okay, for the next few weeks, we're going to learn about Kabbalat Shabbat. And that's what the Torah class was. We learned about the first Mizmor, the Chalodi, the second Mizmor, and the third Mizmor, all the way up to the Chalodi. After we'd done all this learning, he said, listen, we can't just learn about Shabbos. We have to have a Shabbos. So he pulled a few of the kids in the class who were a bit more, let's call it, connected or in the know. There's my friend, our mutual friend David Lustigman, who wasn't here tonight, but also a very old dear friend of myself, Klebish, in the old country, who's now a Rebbe doing other good things in Yerushalyim. And Shalom and Judy were friends with David's parents, Michael and Marsha Lustigman. Michael was a professor in Bishops, and Marsha was a librarian in one of the high schools in Montreal. And they had a very nice sized house and a large living room. And he said, how about we do a Shabbat with a proper Kabbalat Shabbat in your house to get everyone involved. Now, Shalom had a big heart. And he said, let's invite the entire class, which in our grade were 4 grades. It was like 100 plus kids, some of whom were very far from Judaism. I mean, very, very far. But in the end, somehow he got Marsha and Michael to agree. I don't know who paid for it. I don't know who catered it. But next thing you know, it was like Friday afternoon, and the kids are just piling into the house. I mean, you guys see the room here? The living room wasn't much bigger than this living room. It didn't have the arches. It's like, how's much room to have arches like this? The ceiling was a bit higher, and they had a small, sort of ante-room office off the middle of the living room. They pushed all the furniture to the side, and the kids just kept on being pushed in and pushed in. Next thing you know, there were 100 people in the house. Yeah. And because Rav Shalom was so close to Rav Shlomo, and he had taught us some nigunim, and some of us in the class, we started to do Kabbalat Shabbat. We had this amazing Shabbat experience. Now, for some people in that class, I'm 100% positive it was probably the first proper Shabbat they'd ever had in their lives. I would like to hope it wasn't the last. I don't know, lo yodea, but it's this memory that stuck in my mind that he was so in shock that someone didn't know what Kabbalat Shabbat is. Someone doesn't know what means. Someone doesn't know what that means. How could that be? This is the most important thing. If you don't know what that is, nothing else is worth it. We're going to stop what we're learning. This is what we're going to learn right now. And it was such an amazing thing for all of us, at least the ones who were more connected, to think, here's a teacher who it wasn't let's go through the material, let's just learn for the test, let's do what the curriculum says. I want to teach you guys. I want you guys to grow from this. I want you guys to get an experience. I want you to learn what it means to be a connected Jew. And that's what he did. So this is the memory I wanted to share with everyone this year. We should all merit to have a wonderful Shabbat. The experience Shabbos, experience getting away from the week, getting away from all the turmoil, getting from all the difficulties we have, getting a small little taste of Gan Eden just for 25 plus hours. Then we have to get back. It should bring us mala mala. Shabbat.
Let me just say that when I learned from Gila Cantor, you know who she is? That when Shalom was teaching at Shar Shamayim, Solomon Schechter School, right? So they had the last class, I think on Friday. It was basketball or I don't know, something like that. And Shalom decided that that's not going to be. He made Kabbalat Shabbat with those kids, and the school never found out that they were not playing basketball. He used to take them out and they did their thing, Kabbalat Shabbat, and until it was time for the kids to go home. And Gila said that he just took them and they never told the administration, because it wasn't a religious school, and most of the children really had no idea about Shabbat, and but we made sure that they did. And I was telling the story the other day about this boy who my husband re-met at a graduation exercise program at Shar Shamayim. And we sat down and in the row of seats, and this young man is sitting there with a hat and a jacket and white shirt, etc., etc. And he looks at my husband and he said, Brodt, do you remember me? So I don't know what my husband answered him, because they were talking, like I couldn't hear it. But he said, the boy said, the young man said, the reason I look like this is because once when you took us out on a tiul to Mont Royal, Mount Royal, and of course Montreal is usually cold. There's maybe 1 week of August that is a little warmer, but anyway, so they were going on this table, and you jumped into a puddle. And I thought to myself, I think this was in 3rd grade, 4th grade, something like that. I thought to myself, if religious man can jump into a puddle, I also want to be religious. And he went home and told his parents that he wants to change schools. And then he became a frum person just because my husband jumped into a puddle. This is the kind of things that he did. He was very playful and adventurous and out of the box thinker, Baruch Hashem, and that's what I loved. I loved. You were describing his palace, his sisters. He used to wear all kinds of poncho caletes, and he used to really get the raw end of the deal from a lot of people. They really were ridiculing him often, and sometimes he was very hurt that people didn't understand that the mitzvah is, if you have a 4 cornered garment, you put tzitzis on it. And he liked to wear ponchos, so he put tzitzis on it. But people thought it was sacrilegious. Instead of thinking, the mitzvah is to put tzitzis on a 4 cornered garment, so therefore I'll put tzitzis on it. So Baruch Hashem, he was that type of person. But I just want to say that sometimes he really was hurt, and then I'd have to tell him, like either you accept the tochacha from people and their curiosity, which was not so nice, or you go like everybody else, but he didn't. Oh, Hashem. Is there somebody else who wants to say?
I want to say 2 seconds about the puddle. Just a halachic, a moment of halachic insight into jumping into puddles. For 1 moment, is that
It wasn't on Shabbos, by the way.
Oh no, I understand. Yes. First of all, and Foley, you're next. Foley, do you hear me? Foley, I'd like Foley's here. Anyways, Foley's on the. Well, if you hear me, I'd like you to speak. Anybody else also, but there is a halacha that we have a concept called mikvah, and water that lands on the earth, unmoved by a human vessel, is a mikvah. And the idea that you need 40 cubits or 40 se'ah of water is rabbinic. But min haTorah, if you need to do tevilat kli, let's say you bought a new little teaspoon, and there's a teensy little puddle. Midiraisa, min haTorah, you can toivel it in a puddle. Rabbinically, so we don't do it because rabbinically they set the rule that it needs to be the full size. But I think children know, like it says they should start learning Vayikra because they're tahor, and they should learn Divrei Tara, words of purity. Children are pure. They have this shining transparency to their source, which someone always speak about, being transparent to your source. And this attractiveness that this young child saw, that they're seeing a rabbi jump into a puddle, that some of you weren't here, that this kid saw Rav Shalom jump into a puddle and decided he wants to be frum, and switched out of his public school into Jewish school, became a full-on Shomer Shabbos Yid because of that attractiveness of a puddle. Yes, jumping into a puddle. He saw. Yes. Yes, and this kid saw him do it and said, "That's it. I want to be." If a rabbi jumps in puddle, and I understand the fun and the simcha and the ruchnius, the tara, of which he didn't know that word of what a puddle is, then I want in, and it's that simple connectivity, that simple.
Midiraisa has to be enough to cover a human body, and then Chazal give 40 souls.
For a human, but for a kli, the kli can be which is a din Torah. Okay, anybody else who wants to please?
I'm sure to say before I go.
Are you in a rush? Okay. Go just so the people on the computer can hear you. You can pass
Hi,
it down.
Chavra. Is someone talking, or is I got a moment?
Fali, Fali's back. You'll be. There's two really short ones, and then you. Okay.
Okay, no problem. I don't mind taking. I'm just hoping to get a good
and there's a mystery
moment
guest
between work.
over here, Fali.
Yeah, amazing.
Good.
Go.
Okay, so mine's I'm sure there's been like tons of really like amazing stories and interesting and unusual, and mine is like the mundane, which I think is even a higher level. And I just want to say that like Rav Brodt knew everyone, but every time he saw me, he said, "How are you?" But he said it in such a way that I felt like I was the only person. And I felt like I'd been seen, like completely seen, just in that one sentence and that one encounter. And it got me every time. And he would say, come to third meal. But, I didn't have so many interactions with him. But when I had this interaction, just, "Hi, how are you?" It was so all encompassing. And it moved me. And I don't think that happens with many people in the world, that it comes from such a deep and broad place. So my share is Rav Brodt bringing such a big energy to small moments that can really move a person. It was just in those moments I felt like I felt like I belonged to something. I felt like I was special. Anyway, that's just what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Hi everybody. I know plenty of you guys. First off, it was amazing what Uri said. Thank you for giving Shalom so much courage. It makes sense. I just didn't know the backstory to that. I'm sitting here today keeping Shabbat in the way that I am, and learning Torah in the way I am because of Shalom, and I never met him in person. And it's amazing because I showed up, it must have been 2017 or 2018. And it was an Elul program. Oh, it's Elul. I didn't put those pieces together. And I learned my first Masechet of Mishnayot Rosh Hashanah with the Yeshiva. And it was at that point, it wasn't like I couldn't before, it wasn't like I didn't have opportunities. I let myself learn Torah because I finally found an environment that was fitting. I thought, okay, I can see the way forward. Interestingly, like this little observant kid in third grade, I could see a future of being observant through that. So yeah, it's surreal to be sitting here and that be the story. So thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you, Rebbe.
Thank you, Shmuel. Okay, Fali, you're up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Look who's here.
Yeah, I see. Tremendous.
What a yichud, eh? Bible
Baruch
in the
Hashem.
Brodt house. This is next level stuff over here. How do I do this? I just want to attach
There
it
was an
to.
eventuality, like all good roads lead to
Okay,
1800
let's see if we can hear you talk.
I said all good roads lead to 18 Gilboa.
Amos. Exactly. Okay, great. We can hear you.
Wow, Chevra, where do I even start? Rav Shalom is a dear friend and a dear teacher, and the kind of teacher that lets you know that your friendship is important because he sees you as important. And if you recognize your own importance, then you can make way and make room for loving and improving yourself and all of Am Yisrael. So there's stories we can share, but where do we, the gravitas of the friendship that we are called to by Rav Shalom's calling, I think is something that I wanted to talk about. It teaches us how to be a teacher, and it teaches us how to be a student, in the sense that if we aren't connecting, then we can't share. In this current world's climate, too many of us are talking over each other and not connecting in a way that there's any real learning. So I bless us all that we're able to hear and connect as friends and go from there to improving the world. Wow. With Kilson, how did he first come to Simchat Shlomo? I was walking back from the Kotel and I saw this yeshivish looking guy, and he looked like he could use a friend. And I said, there's a beautiful place, come for Shalosh Shudas. And he did. Wow. And I didn't mamish, had no idea from there on. And it changed a life. And there's stories of I had a friend who was in deep depression and just after a divorce and looking for direction in life. And he was a Jewish teacher and unfortunately got divorced because his wife no longer wanted to be religious. And he was sad because Imamish made a choice for Torah. I was in Manhattan with Rav Shalom and we had a few hours to kill. And, he said, well, who's around here? And this guy came to mind. And so I text messaged him and said, hey, we're nearby. I'm with Rav Shalom. We're coming up. And he didn't see the text message. And next thing he knew, in the very bachelor pad that he was in, me and Rav Shalom walked in. And we had one of the most frank discussions about what it means to be a teacher and how a lot of the Rabbanim in the world are not real teachers. And that is no basis for us to say what it is to be a yid, to say what it is to be a teacher. And he inspired my friend to end up becoming the head of Judaic studies in a egalitarian, in the sense that all the different types of Jews in a Jewish day school that had all the, Reform, conservative, and he was an Orthodox teacher, and Rav Shalom pushed him to Dafka go there, and to Dafka showed Yidden what it is to be a Yid, amongst all of our different colored colors of the rainbow Yidden. Rav Shalom's had such a deep effect on so many people in the world, partially through being a good friend and a good teacher. It was a tremendous learner, but there was better learners. He was a tremendous teacher, but there was teachers with more students. What Rav Shalom did was he taught people how to be a friend on a level that allows us to mamish learn and teach the whole world. And there was no better friend. And I seriously, I still have tears in my eyes. And I daven that we all get, of course, so many people are looking forward to meeting Rav Shalom. So I bless us all that Bimhira, we get a chance to dance the Simcha and splash in puddles and hug a friend and go camping in a way that, like, oh my Lord, is a rabbi really coming out of that tent and we spend Shabbos together and change the world, just mamish, look at people in a way that reminds them of who they can be and who they already are, and bring shalom to couples and to friends and to communities. And Rav Shalom taught me that to be a bridge of worlds means you get stepped on. To be a bridge, you have to be willing to let people walk over you. And Rav Shalom allowed people to walk over him in a way that brought him more dignity, not less. In a way that when people were upset at him and maybe gave it over to him in a way that was not appropriate for the person giving it over or for the person receiving it or for the situation, Imamish did it with so much kavod, so much regalness, that regality, I don't know which one of those words is real. But last night, Eitan Katz gave over a story. And that was the ikar of his story from Rav Shalom, that in short, he was at a wedding and he pulled out a cigarette and he rolled a cigarette, and there was someone over there who made assumptions, and Mamish started berating him, thinking that he could, started berating him, thinking, oh, maybe, this rabbi is smoking pot in the middle of a funeral. And Rav Shalom didn't correct him. And he just smiled and he said, you're right, and he put it away. Chevra, we are so big. We are so big if we can only see it and we act on it. And I bless you to be a good friend like Rav Shalom and to have the regalness to be able to be a bridge and to cross boundaries and spaces in a way that is dignified and allows you to raise yourself and other people up. And L'chaim, Judy, you should mamish have so much strength and Simchas HaChaim, and continue to be a guiding light for our community. And I love you a lot. I love you. Yeah. And Rav Leibish, Rav Shalom, Mamish made sure that you would be in place so that you can continue doing amazing work. And Baruch Hashem, you are, and you should continue, to be a bridge, continue to create connections and yichudim, and of people and of thoughts and of Torah, and in action we should be piled, and we should see Rav Shalom, and we should see Mashiach and Yerushalyim the way that we all really need to see it. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Paulie.
Thanks,
Awesome. I miss you so much better. So much love. Coming for Sukkot, maybe?
And Yom Kippur, Mitzvah Shem.
Oh, great. And you stick around. There's a wedding around Rosh Chodesh time. Mitzvah Shem.
He's really gone?
What's that?
He's really gone?
Well, I think so.
When are you coming?
For Yom Kippur, Sukkot, and December time as well, Mitzvah Shem.
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Hanukkah as well.
May I read this?
Yes, Judy has something to read.
Friend of ours, Neil Dobro, and his beautiful family. They used to live in Denver, and my husband used to go to Denver, be at their house, and learn with people. And we kept telling them that they should come to Eretz Israel. And I don't know how many years, but after a number of years, they did. They made Aliyah, and they live in Efrat, Baruch Hashem, a beautiful family. And Neil happens to be in America right now, and he asked me to read something, just a few sentences that he would have said if he were here. So it says, it has been 7 years since we last had Shalom. The yeshiva carries on and thrives. Hundreds and thousands of people who he touched have grown wiser and more peaceful because of what he gave us. He continues to guide us today. Shalom clearly left the world a better place than he found it. Oh Hashem.
Thank you. So there are some people who drove in and were going to take me to Har HaZeisi. So I need to go. I feel bad making them wait so long. It's already after 11. If people want to stick around, Judy, maybe we should kind of end it.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yes.
It is Erev Shabbos. There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah,
and it's such a simcha, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Everyone who came online. Mamish. The challenge again is for us to open more of this kind of space in our own lives and pay it forward. We inherited something big and precious, and this kind of loving, accepting, colorful, inspiring, childlike space is so necessary for the world, and we can find new ways, even small ways, even big ways, as Hashem in our lives, to make it realer, widen the petach that he opened, that Hashem we can each find ways to do that. I have to really daven about that. And Shana Tova U'Metuka, Ksiva V'Chasima Toiva. We're waiting for you here in Yerushalyim if you're not here yet, and sending love to you and all of Am Yisrael.
Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos.
Shabbos. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos.